What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? You are now watching Drew Boy Sports Show. I am your host, King Ralph, here with the homie and my co-host, Kai. What's happening, G? How you doing, Brody?
What's poppin'? Brand new whip just hopped in. What's good, man?
Can't stand you.
But like that's an old song, Kai.
But shoot, we got some guests here in the building. Representing Hoop Fanatic, got the homie Trey. What's good, G?
Yeah. Chilling, man. I'm excited to be here.
Great day.
And we refer to him all the time, but he is in the flesh in the building today. Tara, what's good, Brody?
What's good, bro? How you doing?
Doing good, man. I've been looking forward to this one, like so much. I've been talking about it. I even with my patch at top 75, baby.
Yeah, that's clean, man. Woo!
Hey,
that's
shout out
clean.
to my moms for the clean jacket for Christmas, even though I got it 2 weeks ago. But it was my Christmas gift. We just seen each other for the first time 2 weeks ago. But before we jump into everything, let's send a shout out to the sponsors. If you want to do any podcasts like what you're watching, music videos, photo shoots, call 707 Fit Boxer. Number on the bottom of the screen. But let's jump straight into it. Got a lot to get into today. So off rip, me and Kai have pretty much been doing top 15 for every individual position. We're going to match that with the original 50 list. I'm going to pretty much run off 10 names. If y'all got a problem with them going to the next, being on the list, let me know, but I doubt it. So off rip, we're going to go Kareem, Chuck, Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor, Larry Legend, Wilt, Clyde Drexler, Julius Erving, Pat Ewing, Walt Frazier. Any objections? No?
Nah.
All right, cool. All right, so we got George Gervin, Elvin Hayes, Magic, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Moses Malone, Pistol Pete, Kevin McHale, Earl Monroe, Akeem Olajuwon.
2 thumbs up for Akeem Olajuwon.
I don't know if that guy Michael Jordan's gonna cut the list, man.
I don't know, man.
You never know, man. You never
Top
know.
round.
You
Top
the
round.
list.
So we got Shaq, Robert Parrish, Scottie Pippen, Willis Reed, Oscar Robertson, David Robinson, Bill Russell, John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, Nate Thurman.
Any objections to those?
That's
a sentence, right?
Start showing my age here soon.
Nah, it's actually at this point it was kind of it was the like in alphabetical order of that list.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's why names are kind of in succession. So they're all good. So we got Wes Unseld, Bill Walton, Jerry West, James Worthy, Giannis, Kobe, Steph, Tim Duncan, Kevin Durant, and Kevin Garnett. Any objections there?
Man, KD's rings don't count, man. I don't know, man.
Where are we at? How many are you in already?
Now we're getting to 40.
Okay.
Dude, I felt like there was somebody I just wanted to just obliterate in this like top 40, and I just cannot.
Was it Robert Parrish or something like that, man?
Say the last ones again, please.
All right, so I'm gonna leave the players that's currently playing off and just mention the ones that's before. So I'm gonna go back to Shaq, Robert Parrish, Scottie Pippen, Willis Reed, Oscar Robertson, David Robinson, Bill Russell, John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, Nate Thurman, Wes Unseld, Bill Walton, Jerry West, and James Worthy.
I have a hard time with Bill Walton.
Okay. He won an MVP.
Okay.
At one point.
And it's not because Bill Walton wasn't nice. Injuries. Short career injuries. I would put Klay Thompson over Bill Walton.
Ooh.
I definitely agree with you there. That's
my first guy in was Dwight Howard for sure.
All facts.
Like that was my 100% first guy in, like 100,000% first guy in. We haven't even got to him yet, but like, just keep going, bro. Because like, oh my gosh, like, there's some names on this list that.
Yeah. Does anybody have a problem with Bill Walton automatically getting in? Should we put him in the pool for us to vote on that later?
There's other players I could think of that.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
throw him in the pool. Throw him in the pool, man.
Else, I would not be mad at it.
Throw him in the pool. All right,
throw it down, big man. Throw it down.
I'm gonna throw Bill Walton in the pool.
Yeah. You are the
real quick question about Bill Walton. Is he the greatest Portland Trailblazer ever?
It's either him or Clyde Drexler, in my personal opinion.
Him, Clyde, Damian Lillard. There's a bunch you can go with.
Yeah, I would go with those three as far as.
They've
had some really good players, but those are the three that I would say at the top of Trailblazers history.
Hey, I would have to put Clyde ahead of him, though. I would put Clyde ahead of him. Even though Clyde didn't win the MVP, he didn't win the MVP because Jordan was so good, despite Clyde averaging like 32 and 5. Like,
right.
Bill Walton is 3 years. Bill Walton is 3 years. He only played for 4 years in Portland. I don't even think he's better than Dame in Portland.
Like Trey, when we think of Portland, we usually think now we think of Dame, but overall I would say like Clyde.
Because
Clyde and Dame.
Because you're not putting him in the all-time top 5 of Boston. So the category he fits in would be Portland, and it's like he might not even be top 3 in Portland. So that's why it's hard for me.
You know what? You're right. He's not on the list.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why he's not.
Yeah.
Two-time All-Star.
Right.
I think it's. I'm gonna be honest with you. Certain players have certain things, like certain moxies, etc. And I feel like Bill Walton gets a lot of that. You know what I mean?
Brownie points. They give him the brownie points for that because you remember it in their brain, like, okay, the flair, all that.
The thing about Bill Walton that kind of makes it sucks for him is he played at UCLA at the same time with Kareem, was in the league with Kareem, won an MVP and a title while Kareem was there. It just was injuries took his legs out underneath him, and then he was able to make like a 2 or 3 year resurgence with the Celtics, and then that was it for him.
That's why I said Clay, because I could make the same argument for Clay. Like Clay got the rings, the injury, but injuries kind of effed him up a little bit. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard. That's where I'm comparing him or Clay.
And guys,
like defensively,
right? I was gonna say when we look at Clay, right? When we look at Clay,
go ahead.
He's been robbed from the media of some of those awards that we talked about. People's like, "Oh, I voted for you, Clay. You didn't really vote for him." He should probably have maybe like I don't know how many all defensive teams he even has, but he should have at least like 3 or 4 at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's one of the clutchest playoff performers ever.
Yeah.
And I'm always curious to know whether or not he will be able to return to that point too. That's one of my biggest things with his return. I don't want to veer too far off, but like I really hope that he'll be, because I mean that was like a lot of the secrets to the success. Like you got to hide Steph.
Yeah.
You got the Steph
that Thunder game. What about the Thunder game, bro? The Thunder game, that playoff game.
Playoff games ever.
Yeah.
Game 6 Clay became a moniker because of him, so he's an all-time great to me.
Facts.
Clay over Bill Walton because he can guard 1 through 3. Bill Walton can probably guard 4 or 5, and that's the end of it.
And the narrative around Steph right now about him not being clutch, even though he is clutch, but it's the playoff issues at times. It kind of also exists because Clay's been the guy in the clutch, that is. You know what I'm saying? So there we go.
So next one, we're gonna put. There's players that didn't make either one of me and Kai's lists. That were on the original 50. So at this point, now we're gonna vote on who gets to the pool, who gets thrown in the pool for us to vote on later. So I got Nate Tiny Archibald, played from 1970 to 84, 6-time All-Star. He was the 73 scoring champ. He had one season where he averaged 34 points and 11 assists. He averaged 19 points, 7 assists, and had a career player efficiency rating of 18.
All right, so can you repeat what the years he played?
From 70 to 84.
All right, so that means he played the first 5 years before his first 4 seasons were before the NBA-ABA merger, when about 20 different all-time greats weren't even in the league at that time. And I say that without all due respect because I use it against Kareem as well. But Kareem also did get a chance to play in the 80s, and Kareem was like the clear-cut best player at his position. So when I look at Nate Tiny Archibald, for me, I'm just kind of putting some things out here. I'm not saying yes or no yet. But when we factor in Nate Tiny Archibald, I have to factor in the fact that he did play before the merger. And then wasn't there like a tail off, Ralph?
So the year of the merger, he injured his Achilles. He never played as good as he played, like that 34-11 season. He never even got close to that after that. So the rest of his years, he was decent with averaging 19 points, almost 8 assists, but he just never got to the trajectory that he was on.
And
you
he played.
Say it was the injury. You could say it was the merger. It could have been a little bit of both.
That's what I'm thinking. Might be a little bit of both. He played against Walt Frazier too, right?
Yes.
Around that time.
On the tail end of his toward the tail end of his career.
Okay, we might come back to that one unless you guys have something on that. But
okay, and then we got Paul. I want to say Horizon, small forward, played from 1950 to 62, 10-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ.
Vex.
I'm sorry, Vex.
Yo,
I know the man has a family. They're probably, he has a family. They're lovely, I'm sure, but.
With all due respect.
His best move was
all due respect.
His best move was a Mike and Bill, probably.
And then we got Dave Bing, point guard and shooting guard, 1966 to 78, 7-time All-Star. He was the 1968 scoring champ. He averaged 20 points, 6 assists, player efficiency rating of 18, and he only shot 44% from the field for his whole career.
Back to back now.
Majority vote, man. Like they do in Troy.
And I want to say all this to say, like I respect my elders, man. Like I promise you, I do. But there are better players and there are better talents out there, and the game is changing. And go ahead, Ralphie.
Hey, you don't believe in the dinosaurs? It's okay. You don't believe in the dinosaurs, man?
This one here is one that me and I wanted him to be on here so bad, but Nate couldn't make it.
Okay.
But Bob Cousy played from 50 to 63, 13-time All-Star. He's an 8-time assist champ. But these are his numbers for his career: 18 points, 8 assists, 38% from field, and he had a player efficiency rating of 20.
I think now with him, oh man, stuff, because I think with him is like the thing that pops out the most, and I'm not gonna say just because you're a multiple-time All-Star, like the fact that he got to 13, it makes it a little like I think the conversation gets a little interesting. Because I look at like just his base stats, like obviously 18, 5, 7, but like the fact that he could make that many All-Star games, like I don't know, man. his nickname was like Houdini of the hardwood. Like
yep.
You know what I mean? Not to say like too much of a little nothing. Like I feel like he was like a
Jason Williams.
He was cold. He was real good, man.
He was cold.
Yeah.
No, I think we got to keep him.
I say we keep him in the pool.
He's a pioneer.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
He is
a pioneer.
Right. So after here, so he stays. Paul Horizon and Dave Bing go.
Yeah, they're gone. Goners off the map.
And then Dave Cowens or Cowens. I think it's Cowens.
Dave Cowens.
It's Cowens. Center, power forward, 1970 to 83, 8-time All-Star, 2-time NBA champ. He averaged 18, 14 rebounds, 46% from the field, had a player efficiency rating of 17. His highest.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
His highest scoring total was 21 points in one season. He averaged 16 rebounds in one season. Yeah. And he shot 50% from the field from another season.
Damn. Can I ask you if you do know by chance, because like this is all just shooting across the map at this rate, how like vital was he in those two finals?
Great question.
Anybody.
He's like I'm explaining this to you. He's kind of like our J.ü.k of now.
Dude,
I can see that.
I'd probably put him in then.
He's kind of like J.ü.k.
But J.ü.k is like, that's another thing I was gonna bring up. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, J.ü.k. Yeah. Because I feel like we should appreciate greatness as we see it, as well. Just like they said, wait for it, but also you need to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right.
I know it's different. I use an analogy. Like, it's like music. Like, if there's an artist who's constantly putting out great quality, we're not gonna be like, well, he needs to put out 10 more albums. I'm like, what do you mean you put out 10 more albums? He put out
3. Wouldn't be the same.
Like,
it wouldn't be the same.
You feel what I'm saying? So
it's more. I think it's more like with him. It's like that the trophy, like the championship. Because like I know people use that as like validation, and I don't always think that's the greatest validation in the world. Because like you know what I'm saying? Like he has this many rings, so what? Like there are certain people. Adam Morrison got 2 rings and did absolutely nothing. So what does that mean? Right?
True.
So that's where I'm like. But I could kind of understand, you know, where we kind of place that at. So if he kind of ends up like a Dwight Howard, for example, and like gets 2 rings as a role player later on in his career, but what he did early on in his career, it doesn't wipe away like what he's accomplished. So I think that's why you kind of have to wait, just because it's not over yet, right? Because he can still pick up more MVPs. Yeah, Jokic, because you can still pick up more MVPs. You can still pick up, you know, the rings and stuff that eluded you your entire career.
It's almost for him, and like when I think of Dwight, it's almost about. I'm sorry, I don't want to go too far, but it's almost like a balance of the fact that like I don't think I've ever seen a player like Jokic in my entire life.
Absolutely not.
7 foot dudes, amazing.
So Dave Collins against Kareem in the finals averaged 23, 10, and 5.
Bro.
He worked back in the day. Just saying, he used to, but he's still great.
Yeah, I'm saying yes.
Yeah. I think I'm saying yes.
Off the map, I say yes.
Right. Yo, I just realized my chain is on backwards. That's crazy. My fault, y'all. But so up next, Dave Collins stays in the pool.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Billy Cunningham, small forward, power forward from 66 to 76, 5-time All-Star, 67 NBA champ. He for his career though, he averaged 21, 10, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 45% from the field, had a player efficiency rating of 20.
So because there's a player that I can already think that we believe, at least I should not say so. I don't speak for everyone, but there's a player that me and you, we talked about pre-show, who's a scorer, right, in another era. I'm going to say no. Because I feel like he's more deserving because he played against stiffer competition as well. But I'm going to say no.
It's the competition aspect for me. I said no.
And the crazy thing about this one is he was 6'6", playing power forward and averaged 10 rebounds. So, but when you put it in the context, like we talk about, he was playing against. You got to look at who he was playing against.
The average height back then was like 6'6". So he's like
in the league, bro.
He's like Yao Ming of that generation. It's like like so no.
Wait, we're gonna get to him too later.
There's just so many other scorers out there in the history that would just I feel like we're disrespectful.
So Billy Cunningham, no.
Nah.
Nope.
All right. And so Tar, we talked about this off air, so you know how I feel about it. But Dave Buscher, power forward, small forward, played from 63 to 74, 8-time All-Star. He won some rings, but I'm only leaving that. I'm with my players that I'm mentioning. I'm only mentioning their rings when it becomes a title. I mean, a tiebreaker type of thing, because I think that's more of a team award.
I like how you're doing it. Until you're mentioning them, it's giving me some type of insight that they had contribution to something great. You know what I mean?
Right. And so with him, he averaged 16 points, 11 rebounds, 43% from the field, and had his player efficiency rating of 16. Y'all know how I feel about it based on them numbers. So I'm gonna leave it up to y'all.
He's out.
Absolutely not, because that Knicks team was absolutely spectacular. They had Earl Monroe, Willis Reed, Phil Jackson, like that. They had squad. Yeah. No.
Yeah. And
he was like the fourth best player on that team.
Phil Jackson.
Right.
That was like he was like the fourth best player on that team. Like no.
Hey, Phil Jackson might not have been super nice, but he probably was the smartest role player on that team, bro.
Right.
You know what? I think that might be the easiest no so far.
Yeah.
I want to say that I've heard like just hearing you.
Him or what was old boy that was before Dave B? Oh, Paul Rising. Everybody looked at me and was like, "No, y'all don't even. Trey didn't even look at the screen, bro. You just looked away."
Hey,
like, hell no.
That man's ghost is the one that flipped your chain backwards because we disrespected him, bro.
Yeah, that's fact.
Bro, that's
fact. So next up, we got Hal Greer, shooting guard, point guard. Played from 59 to 73. And if y'all notice a common theme, if you look up a lot of these players, they played for the Celtics around the same damn time.
Yep.
But 10-time All-Star, 19 points a game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 45% for the field, and he played too long ago for them to even get a player efficiency rating for him.
He played during the days of Ricky Ricardo and I Love Lucy.
Yeah, his again.
If this was Nick at Night, we'd be having another conversation, but this is not that. So I'm gonna say no.
He was probably on that Late Show back in the day. Like,
before the merger. You said 59 or something like that. Woo!
Dude, I'm trying really hard to give the benefit of the doubt that the game is forever transcending. It's changing, it's different, but it's just a no.
Yeah, but just no. Hey Trey, you know what? It's always like because me and Ralph always talk about this. Is like we're not because we obviously like, and you're the same way. Like we respect legends because you're a legend of your time, and you have to look at things relative to their era. But at the same time, at some point, competition does matter, which I know is kind of what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And also when you look at like the fact that there was literally half the league was in a whole other league, and it's called the NBA grade 75 grade.
We talking about 75 dudes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
In an elite pool.
And if all the other elite players of that time was on your team,
right?
It's like you're basically unless you was busting their behinds in practice, unless you was just going at it in practice and asking in practice, that's the only way I would be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, he went up against this dude. But
I feel like
you're all on your team.
Chris
so
Bosh,
it's like
Chris Bosh got let off this list. That's a good example. And I'm not saying he deserves for sure to be on it, but Chris Bosh is a name that, for that
that's a name we're going to talk about later.
You're literally saying right now, the reason that he's saying right now is playing with certain talent. Like, people forget all the time, dude. People forget all the time.
So he's off. But up next, another one. The next two people are actually on his team. But the next person, John Havlicek, played small forward, shooting guard from 63 to 78, but he's a 13-time All-Star, 21 points a game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, all 45% shooting. He had his highest totals or pretty much averages in points was 29, so he was a bucket getter, 9 rebounds and 8 assists. For me personally, I say he should go into the pool.
He should go in the pool.
Yeah.
15 years.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the pool of not being in?
No. The pool of being in.
Oh, okay.
We're both on.
Havlicek stole the ball. Havlicek stole the ball. Yeah. He's the one person on that team outside of like Bill Russell or whatever. Was Bill Russell on? Yeah.
He almost averaged 30 in the 70s. He almost averaged 30 in the 70s.
And he has a Finals MVP, right?
Yeah. And he was a guard. And he was a guard too. So
So Havlicek
right there.
Yeah. And then next up, Sam Jones, another one of their teammates. He played anything from the 1 all the way up to the 3. 58. He played in 58 all the way up to 69. He's a 5-time All-Star. 18 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, all 46% shooting. Me personally, I'm gonna say no.
You say he played shooting guard?
He played anything from the 1 all the way up to the 3. They have him listed as shooting guard, small forward, point guard. But I think he was specifically a shooting guard.
Okay, because I was about to say, go ahead.
I'm going to say no on this one, for me personally.
Agree.
No, I was gonna say if you're a power forward and you averaging 5 rebounds, man. Back in them days, only 5 rebounds, bro. Man, yeah, I'm gonna say no though. Like, Sam Jones bank shot sounds cool, but you know.
Yeah. This is like just a worse version of Havlicek. Statistically speaking.
Hey, you know what? It sounds like he was like Jarvis Hayes, but just like
Jarvis Hayes.
Hey, remember Jarvis Hayes had that bank shot, bro? That Jarvis Hayes, man.
So we got 3. Well,
looking at his numbers, like Andrew Wiggins is doing better right now.
Right.
Sure. No disrespect. I mean, like I guess it was kind of disrespectful. To all thoughts.
It's the most backhanded compliment ever.
That was bad.
When you say no disrespect, there's a bunch of disrespect following.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to be on the list now, man.
I'm not trying to offend
Andrew Wiggins, but this he's 75.
That's crazy.
All-star starter. He might as well be on this damn list.
I disagree with that too, but that's a whole nother conversation. But we got Jerry Lucas, power forward, center, from 1964 to 74, 7-time All-Star. He averaged 17 points a game, 16 rebounds, 3 assists a game, 50% from the field with a player efficiency rating of 19.
He played from 64 to 74?
64 to 74, yeah.
Did he play in any of the NBA Finals?
I believe so.
I think yes. Hold on. I believe yes.
I believe so, but I don't think I put that on here.
Jerry Lucas.
1970,
yeah, I believe they did. Yeah.
All right, so Jerry Lucas. Run off those accolades again. I'm trying to pull it up real quick.
He was in the championship in 73. He won an NBA championship.
I was gonna say, didn't he play for?
Got it. Okay.
Oh, he was on that Knicks team that won.
He was.
Willis Reed.
Yeah.
With Willis Reed?
He's in.
All right.
I think with those numbers he does. I say at least into the pool with those numbers. And hold on, let me look up these playoff numbers.
15 and 16.
To put this in perspective, I say no. Now that I kind of look at it,
now that I'm looking at it, he averaged 8
absolutely
points
not
in that playoffs. No.
Absolutely not. Look, because the same reasons. But he played on the. So to me, his prime years were like the San Francisco that played with Wilt Chamberlain. So it's like,
yeah.
And then when we talk about the championships on the Knicks, he only performed 1 year, and that was in 70. That was in 72. No, that was in 71, 72.
71, yeah. That was the year before they won.
He's got an All-Star game MVP. I don't know what that entails, but he's got one.
Who was All-Stars back then, though?
64, 65, so I'm assuming, like, obviously.
Yeah, he was a 6'8" center. So, no. Actually, now that I've actually looked at it.
Cincinnati.
No. Yeah. He played during the days of
at one point.
Yeah, he played during the days of Sanford and Son, man. I'm not talking about reruns either. I'm talking about live,
That's my grandpa's favorite show, dude.
Days of Sanford and Son, bro. Come on, man. I'm cool, man.
so that's a no?
Yeah.
Nope. That's no. Yeah, we agree. Yes, that is a no.
All right, Kai. Up next, it's your boy, good old George Mikan.
No, that's not my boy, man. Nah. That's not my boy.
Your boy. That's your favorite player of all time, bro.
Hey, man.
He played from 49 to 56.
That is an absolute no for me. And like, I'm gonna tell you, Shaq loves him, bro. Shaq worships this dude. Bro, but I'm gonna say no, man. He's a Laker. I am gonna say no.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Right.
I'm today years old, realizing my man only played this long.
Oh, word?
This list begins and ends before it starts.
Right.
This is crazy.
Hey, do we put him on there off the strength of being a pioneer or nah?
No.
Hold on. I got a question. I got a question though, like hypothetically, right? Like why did he? Because he declined quick.
Yeah.
So far as points are concerned, at least. Does anybody know like what led to, like, was he hurt? Like what happened?
Black people.
He was a big man.
Black people were added to the game.
Sorry. I mean,
yo, I hate y'all.
Bro, every year he basically declined.
And I didn't want to be that guy on the broadcast to say that, but I had to.
They were letting more and more Negroes in the game. So his stats went down.
Melanin was added to the basketball game.
As soon as Bill Russell got added, it was over for the boy, bro.
Hold up, man. Yo, Trey trying to do a deep dive analysis, bro. Hey, this dude said he's looking at his stats and he declined every year.
Bro, honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, I'm gonna be completely transparent. Like, obviously, I know who George Mikan is, but it never came to me just let's pull up George Mikan's stats. Because you would have asked me, I'd have been like, yeah, he probably played like 10 years or something like that. And then to get here and see like, well, 28, 27, 28, and then it's like 23, 20, 18, retired, 10. It only got worse. It only got worse.
Sorry,
I would say no. I would say no as well.
No.
All right. And so up next, Bob Pettit, power forward, center, played from 55 to 65, but he was an 11-time All-Star, 2-time champ, for his career, he averaged 26, 16, 3 assists off 45% shooting. I say he gets to the pool them numbers. I mean, when you I know we only give you so much but he dominated though.
He's a 2-time scoring champ.
Yeah.
11-time NBA Rookie of the Year, All-Star MVP 4 times. Like, yes.
Yeah.
To
are you in favor of that one? Bob Pettit?
Oh, yeah, I'm in favor of it, yeah.
All right.
Cool. And then so up next is Dolph Shays. Power forward, center, played from 50 to 64, 12-time All-Star, was the 1951 rebound champion, 19 points a game, 12 rebounds, but he shot 38% from the field. I'm gonna say no.
No way.
Who named him? I'd put Dolph Ziggler over him. Dolph Ziggler's a wrestler, bro.
Hey, that's back when people would just camp out in the paint, right? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Who named this?
I'll take Dennis Rodman over.
Right, it's Dolph.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, his name is Adolf, I think.
Yeah.
Get out of here. We're good, bro.
But Bill Sharman,
Rainbow Kid.
Not the Rainbow Kid.
The Rainbow Kid, dog. What are we doing?
So up next, Bill Sharman, shooting guard, played for 61.
No.
Damn,
no, you gotta let him read it.
I'm gonna let you read it off. But the reason why I know this is because I looked this up because of Clay. Because I was mad at because I was trying to figure out what's the logical way to keep Clay off, and I read him because I didn't know who that was at all. No. But I'm sorry, go ahead, read it. I'm sorry, viewers.
But he's an 8-time All-Star. Averaged 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, all 43% shooting.
Rumor has it, the timed warp version of me made the 1955 All-Star game as well. So there's no chance that this guy gets on the list.
Report videos when you go into the warp machine.
You could not have the last name Sherman and be on the top 50 list because Sherman's toilet paper. It's soft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the last guy's name was Dolph.
Yeah.
So
Dolph. But so up next, Lenny Wilkins.
Go ahead. I know that name. I know the player. Are you just? Oh snap! You still there? All right. I guess we can try to pull up Lenny Wilkins real quick.
So the ghosts of Adolf and Sharman didn't like what we were saying, so they just decided to just mess with my man's Wi-Fi.
Right. So we're gonna let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see. Who was it? Lenny Wilkins?
Yeah, I got him here. He's point guard. Lenny Wilkins. Let's see. 9-time All-Star, Hall of Fame. Played from 60 to 75. He averaged 16.5, 6.7 assists, and then 4 rebounds. Dig a little deeper. I mean, he's
Brooklyn.
in the Hall of Fame. He was a 69-70 assist champ. The 70-71 All-Star MVP. So he has no rings. He averages 16, 6, and 4. His biggest achievements, I would say, is a 9-time All-Star game MVP, assist champ per year.
He belongs on here as a coach alone. Isn't he still the NBA's most winningest coach? Like as far as regular season wins?
I believe so. I was actually pulling it up. I was trying to pull up the same thing that Trey was pulling up, and I was like, "Yo, how is this dude played till he was 67?" And I looked at Basketball Reference, and it turned out that I was looking at his coaching record. Yeah, I was like,
I was gonna say,
they'll combine him.
Yeah.
I mean, he played. I'm gonna say one thing though. From 61 to 75, he's got 1,077 games, so he was
durable.
Looks to be very durable, obviously here, but
I don't know. I don't know.
Like I would want to know why he's put in, because like he's a 9-time All-Star. He averages fairly good. I mean, these are good numbers. I mean, they're good. 16, 6, and 4. 16, 7, and 4, I guess.
I think he's decent.
I just think that there's nothing. I don't think he has to be an MVP or anything necessarily. But like, if you're not a champ, and I don't mean to be like harsh on this criticism. Like, if you're not one-time champ, I would think that something more than an assist leader, or
yeah, he was an MVP. Wait, it was an All-Star MVP though, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I don't know if.
So you know what it seems like? He seems like he was kind of like a Rondo in a way. Like he might have been a smart player who could, dish the rock, but outside, and Rondo could do a lot more than just dish the rock. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he might have been more like a Rondo to his era. And like, do any of us believe that Rondo's top 75 all time?
No,
he's probably maybe top 100. But you also think about there's other positions in point guards, like the Tony Parkers and all that.
Yep.
So Rondo's probably like top 100, top 125, something in there. Maybe
I could say you can argue top 100, but
yeah, I think top 100 because he's a vital. Because every time Rondo plays, his teams, at least on a good team, is like they actually do well, right? So, but yeah, Lenny Wilkins, I'm gonna say no.
No,
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah. All right.
So now at this point, we got the players. Oh, quick question. I don't know if I got a chance to ask y'all this beforehand. So when they put out that original top 50 players that made it in 97, if you didn't make that list, are we allowed to vote for you now?
Yeah. So what he means by go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. That's what.
Okay, so what he means by that is like, so in 1996 they had the original 50 list, right? And then from that list, they added on like 25 new players to that list. But he's saying anyone who didn't make the original list in 96, because you know how there were some people that they thought should have made it, maybe
is
like
that
a
all
Reggie
this
Miller.
is? Wait, so it stayed the same since then?
They grandfathered
stayed the same
and added 25.
That's an issue.
That's why
that's a huge issue.
That's why
you got X, Y, and Z in the league. That's like, like telling like kids they just can't be better than people.
Right.
Yeah, because there's some people back then who got snubbed. I think Reggie Miller wasn't even on the list, but Shaq was on there.
I didn't even know that was the case. I just thought they came with the 75.
No, Reggie got added. Reggie Miller got added. I know he didn't win, but he was pushing Jordan. Like we saw the last dance.
Yeah, for sure.
So Reggie Miller, Gary Payton, Dominique Wilkins, Dennis Rodman, Bob McAdoo. I'm trying to think of who else. I want to say it was.
I feel like you have to redo the whole list. It doesn't make sense to me how you can just. These 50 players were still the greatest 50 players, although we have more players coming in. It's like almost a slap.
That's exactly what it's saying.
That are coming in.
That's basically what it's saying.
Crazy.
All I know is Rodman's the greatest rebounder ever. If he didn't do anything else except defensive rebounder, he's the greatest in the most dominant rebounding era. He was average. I think his average was like 18 in like his
bro. The fact he wasn't sober most of the times.
Yeah,
and came in averaging 20 rebounds, bro. Like he come in partying with Madonna and then get 20 rebounds in a final game. Like that's ghost status to me. I don't give a damn what nobody tell me. Like
Shaq, you know what? As great as Shaq is, I'm not dissing Shaq, but as great as Shaq, because they say he was dominant. He was physically dominant. He was statistically as well, but more physically dominant. He never led the league in rebounding. Meanwhile, Dennis Rodman at freaking 6'7", 6'8", was averaging 20 a game. And
he wasn't sober most of the time, bro.
Multiple seasons,
right? Imagine this man just played healthy his entire career, bro. Like,
it would have been a longer career. It would have been a longer. Yeah. You know what though? Like I always, and not to be cliche, like obviously, like.
And he played in the 80s too and the 90s.
Everything does happen for a reason, and I think him not being sober contributed to him getting to where he needed to go. Like
I agree.
You're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right.
So like I don't know if we see like the championship, the elongated championships on Chicago and stuff like that. Like because if Dennis Rodman is sober, like I don't know of too many people who are going to want to get rid of him. Like it wouldn't make sense to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But so with that, at this point we got people that. Wait, so what y'all? So we're voting for them now.
Yeah, we agree that it's messed up. That like,
so we got Bob McAdoo, who was a center, power forward, from 72 to 86, 5-time All-Star, 3-time scoring champ. He averaged 22, 9 off 50% shooting with a 21 player efficiency rating. I say put him in the pool.
He went to North Carolina, so yeah.
Didn't his son go there too?
That was like his nephew, wasn't it?
Yeah, James Michael McAdoo. Yeah, that was his nephew.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even think it's a question.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah. The next three are the next three. I agree with you, Ralph, that you shot off.
Yeah. And then now we got Dennis Rodman, power forward, small forward.
We're not even gonna talk about
it. Yeah. Dominique Wilkins.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up.
Prolific scorer.
Yes. Played from 82 to 99, 9-time All-Star, 86 scoring champ. Played from 20. Well, he averaged 25, 7, and 3 assists on 46% shooting for his career.
Yep, and he had to go up against Bird, Celtics, and Isaiah's Pistons, and Michael Jordan, and everyone else. So yeah, he needed more help.
Definitely there.
Yeah, Wilkins is definitely there. It's not his fault. Yeah,
not at all.
At this point, I'm gonna need a little bit of help because I don't have these people's stats. But
okay,
we got Dikembe Mutombo.
No,
we know him from. I'm gonna say no to.
Yeah. Hey, Allen Iverson is gonna hunt you down, bro. He's like, don't you?
I mean, no, there's no disrespect. I love Dikembe. It's no disrespect, but no.
Nah.
Because there's other centers I could think of off top that's better than him. So it's just no.
Me personally, because you know how I feel about Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace is that dude to me. Because I know
absolutely.
I don't know, man.
That's why I said no. That's why
I'm going to talk about it because I hear other opposing views on it, but I know things about Ben Wallace that some people just don't mention. Like,
that's why, bro. That's exactly why I said no. Because people like Ben Wallace, I would take Ben Wallace over Dikembe.
But I don't want to go off track on it because maybe Ralph missed that. And then Trey.
I don't know. This is hard. This is harder than me just saying no. I feel like
to Mutombo.
Hey, Kyle, say no.
Yeah. To Mutombo.
Yeah.
If it means putting Ben Wallace in there, then I'm saying no.
I mean, you got to tell me put him in the pool or not.
We got to compare them head to head, man. Because now I'm conflicted. Like I would like to compare them head to head. Then, if that's the case,
I'm saying no to Mutombo. I'm saying no to Mutombo. So
all right, cool. So that takes him out of there, regardless of what happens next.
Yeah.
Alonzo Mourning.
Like it didn't even matter what I had. Nothing mattered right there.
I'm gonna say no.
Even if I wanted him in, he was a goner.
Yeah. I'm gonna say no.
Who on the next one? Who?
Alonzo
Mourning. That's tough.
Yeah. I thought you said Lonzo Ball. I was like, Lord have mercy.
I don't want to go too far because I know you mentioned Ben Wallace. What pops for Ben Wallace that doesn't for Dikembe? Is it
all right? So here's the thing, right? Dikembe Mutombo was 7'2", 7 foot, whatever.
Yeah.
Ben Wallace was a multi-time rebounding champ at like 6'8", 6'9". He's tied for the most all defensive teams in NBA history with 4. He also was the anchor of the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest defensive team in NBA history, the 04 Celtics that beat Lakers and a Kobe and Shaq led Lakers team that went 15-1 in the playoffs, who swept 4 50-plus win teams on their way. And he's the only center in NBA history who played Shaq straight up. He got Shaq's respect. Like Ben Wallace was amazing. They went to 6 straight Eastern Conference finals from 2003 all the way up until 2007 before they traded him to, I believe, what was it, the Bulls? Or he got signed as a free agent to the Bulls. And the Bulls had like the second-ranked defense the moment that Ben Wallace went there. Like Ben Wallace, everywhere he went, he had an impact. Also, the intangibles was the intimidation factor that Ben Wallace had. Ben Wallace, like everyone hated playing the Pistons, not necessarily because of Chauncey Billups. It was because of Ben Wallace. Like Ben Wallace,
add something to that too.
Is that much?
He was the only out of undrafted players. He leads all undrafted players in rebounds in the history of the league.
He wants to
undrafted.
Virginia Commonwealth. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's the only drafted player to go to get to go into the Hall too.
Yep. Only undrafted player to go to the Hall of Fame. Now with Mutombo, though, if you want to argue for Mutombo, even though I'm supposed to be arguing for my guy, you could say Mutombo was what 25. I think he was 24 or 25 as a rookie.
He's the only guy that matches the all defensive teams.
Exactly. That's why it's like they're on the same tier. But I think that
Ben Wallace winning that championship kind of like And again, I don't hold everything to a championship, but it would have just been nice if Mutombo's payoff would have came.
Actually, this is one of those moments where you can use it because it's the tiebreaker.
And then again, okay, so if we're gonna do the tiebreaker, and this is the worst tiebreaker ever, but Kai said Shaq. What did Shaq do to Dikembe Mutombo in that finals?
Destroy him.
Obliterated him. What did he do? What did he do with Ben? It was a tougher matchup.
27 and 13 or something. You know,
it was tougher though. It was a tougher.
I'm saying.
But I mean, like to be fair, he was like, how old was Ben at that time?
Ben was Ben at 04, because he got drafted in 01, so he was still young actually.
Yes, I mean, like, Dikembe Mutumbo was like 30, like 34, 35 years old when he played.
He was. But,
and I think he's already got a disadvantage. He's got a disadvantage, though, because Ben is, like, grounded. Like, that's a big dude. Like, he's with that. So I figure those things would have – they're just so comparable, dude. Like,
yeah, Trey, I'm going to give you two things, though. I'm going to give you two things.
Yeah.
You're right about the age because Dikembe Mutombo, which most people don't know, at his rookie year, he was literally like 24, 25 years old as a rookie. Which is insane. So, wow. So, for him to make an impact was cool. But the two things also that put me over the top for him was you mentioned the championship. More than just him winning the ring, right? He, in Game 5, was giving Shaq work, and he's not even an offensive player. The dude was grabbing rebounds. He had that one play where I think he blocked the shot and then pushed the ball in the break and, like, dunked it like Ben Wallace because his mom had died before the game. Or his grandmother had died. His grandmother had died. And he played his heart out in that NBA Finals game. So, that's one. And then the last point with Ben Wallace is Ben could remember he could defend 1 through 5. If you look at all his tape, right, this dude was switching off on guards, laterally shuffling his feet.
I've seen him guard Allen Iverson and rip Allen Iverson in full goal.
Yes.
Yeah. Mutombo was just rim protection. So it's kind of like Ben gives you a little more of that versatility.
And the undrafted aspect, too.
Yeah. That's crazy.
He was.
I do this solely.
He was part of that '96 class. That people forget that about Ben Wallace. If he
I do it solely off the impact because I think Mutombo had an impact, but I don't think there's like how do I explain this? Like I mean the quickest thing that comes to mind is like the Chicago Bears are typically quote unquote known for their defense and linebackers and stuff like that. Like when I think of Detroit and I think of the Pistons, I think of rough nose because of Ben Wallace. So I think. Like, I don't have too much to – like, I have the finger wave with Mutombo, right? But, I don't have that stigma to tie it to. And then, obviously, like we said before, the championship ties it.
And the DJ. They had the best DJ in the –
Like, I even wonder – I go to question whether or not –
They had headbands on his biceps.
Him leading by example rubs off to a guy like Tayshaun Prince.
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean?
What did you say about Tayshaun Prince? I heard him laughing.
I said that I think him leading by example rubs off on a guy like Tayshaun Prince, who was as good a wing defender as we've seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not even carrying that much weight. Like, it's just crazy.
All I know is he had more heart than Dwight Howard. That's for sure. But anyway, we're not going to get into that.
That's easy. That's not even close.
Up next, we got wait, what was it? What was the answer on putting Zoe in the pool? Is it a no?
No. Yeah.
No.
Chris Webber.
Alonzo Mourning?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
Got Chris Webber.
Y'all going to hate me for this one. So Chris Webber, right? I was actually part of a YouTube stream on this one time. I know a discussion on YouTube with this. But and they're like, Chris Webber's this and Chris Webber's that, because you were trying to argue he was a Hall of Famer. And when you really look at it, at least I'll speak for myself because I can only speak for myself, right? Chris Webber had Hall of Fame talent, but he didn't have the Hall of Fame career. But when we say the greatest players, we're encompassing it all, right?
Yes.
And so for me, and Tar will know this because that was who they gave Allen Iverson when he needed more of a KD. They gave him a broken down Chris Webber. You know what I'm saying? Which is low-key disrespectful. For me, I have to say no, because if Chris Webber's there, I feel like it opens up Pandora's box for a whole lot of other players whose careers were cut like way too
Am I not remembering correctly, or did C-Web have a lot going on back in the day?
I think he did. Didn't he have a lot going on?
Off the court, or he was like everything was good, or he was clean. I feel like he had things that bothered him that didn't have to do with basketball that got in the way of that because he was talented.
Well, I mean, he had this whole scandal at Michigan, and then after he had kind of like lied on the stand or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had because then that was the reason why him and Jalen had fell out, is because he pretty much threw an old boy underneath the bus that tried to take care of them pretty much when they was broke. He tried to make it seem like, oh, he was a predator and he preyed on me because he knew I was gonna go to the league and that's why he gave me the money.
He's out of there. Get him out. Nope.
Yeah, they did 30-30 for the Fab Five on that, right. And that was part of it. What do you say, Tom?
I mean, his most prime years is like,
because he played with your boy, so
I don't judge him based off of that. That was just bad general managementship.
Yeah. He was a beast on the Kings though, and the Warriors and the Bullets. He played for like 4 or 5 teams. Dang.
Yeah. He's a 5-time All-Star. He averaged 21 points a game, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, on 48% shooting.
Yeah. He led the NBA rebounds 99 too, and that's a tough year.
Right. Right. He led the NBA rebounds in 99.
Didn't he have a year where he averaged like 27?
Yeah, that was his first year of the Kings.
He averaged 27 and 11 in 2000.
That's what I said. He had the Hall of Fame talent. He just didn't quite have it.
I'm throwing him in the pool.
I'm throwing him in the pool. This is why I wish we had Nate, because then we would have had a
we need a tiebreaker. I'm gonna say no though, but it hurts my heart though. So because just wait till we get to like T-Mac.
I'm honestly I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not, because like I feel like he, like, it does show, it pops a little bit, like when you look at the stat sheet and stuff like that. We all know what he's capable of, but I'm more convinced of what Kai's saying, because bro, like, he is talented as they come, like, but to what avail? Like, what came of that? Rookie of the year, I think here. When I look at it, Rookie of the Year, 5-time All-NBA.
Okay, but then here's the thing, though. He was the leader of the Kings team, but they had that cheat-ass referee. So if it wasn't for that referee cheating, he probably took a team to the NBA Finals.
And like, even being there, even just being there, would have been.
And that West was insane.
You got to think about, so in the 2000-2001 playoffs, he averaged 12 rebounds and 23 points. The next year, he averaged 11 rebounds and 24 points. And then he averaged 2 less rebounds with the same amount of points. All of this is off of 51% shooting from the field.
You know what's crazy to me is, like, if we just rewound, like, like 20 or 30 minutes or so, like, there's probably a guy that I would remove for this guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but we're here. We are here right now.
I think when we start talking about playing back then and then playing now, he has a talent that could play in any era.
Okay, I got a question for you guys.
And that's personally for me why I would put him.
And you got to think about his competition too back then in the West at his position. Yeah, I have to put him there.
He's going up against Rasheed Wallace, KG, Tim Johnson.
That's true.
Antonio McDyess, like, bro, he's just every night it was a power forward after power forward.
Power forward.
And Ralph and Tar, you know how I feel about that level of competition at their position, because that's when I told you guys, when I show you guys my list of like 10 greatest all-time players, I always look at your positional competition because that always matters to me. I have one question for you guys though. Anthony Davis, aka AD, always doubtful, or Chris Webber?
Webber.
I'm taking Webber.
Because all right,
like
Trey.
You say Kai. I like the idea of Anthony Davis.
Of AD, yeah.
I'm good on street clothes.
Weber could bring the ball up the court too.
No. If you're gonna tell me that it's just due to the fact that, because I know damn well this is another conversation. I know damn well if he's healthy, I'm taking AD. And I know that's a big if. I understand that, but if that's the reason why, I can get where you guys are coming from. But if he's healthy, I'm probably gonna take AD for sure.
Okay,
it's like a huge reason probably why you guys led your decision. Like, you know what I mean?
No, it's not even the injuries. I'm taking injuries out of it. Right? We seen him as a leader of a team, as a catalyst, as a leader of a team. Right? Yeah, he wasn't. Chris Webber, as the leader of his team, took a team to the chip. It took a cheating ref to beat a dominant Lakers team.
Are we gonna do that with the New Orleans Pelicans right now, though?
The New Orleans Pelicans wasn't a horrible team, though. They weren't bad.
DeMarcus Cousins, I think at one point they
had Drew Holiday. They have Drew Holiday.
They had Drew. But like when I look back at that Kings team, they had a piece.
He's a second option though. He's not a first option. Chris Webber was a first option.
Anthony Davis will never be a first option. He's a first option.
Anthony Davis not a first option.
In NOLA, he is.
Great conversation.
He wasn't though. He had to go to another team to be he's a second option.
He's the first option in NOLA, and I think much of.
But how far did he go in the playoffs as a first option?
Well, do you think DeMarcus? I actually think DeMarcus. Go ahead.
Yeah, you think DeMarcus Cousins is the first option there?
Yeah, DeMarcus Cousins was before Joel Embiid and all that. Well, Embiid might have came in the same year, but DeMarcus Cousins was the clear cut. I think we can agree the clear cut best center in the league, right?
Yeah,
at that time for like a 4-year stretch, whatever it was. Yeah. I would say when they traded him. Wait, was Cousins drafted by the Kings or the Pelicans? Help me out, guys.
Cousins was Kings.
Okay, he was the Kings. He was always better than Anthony Davis to me in terms of running the offense too. But then he just got hurt, and now people just think he sucks. So I'm gonna because we have to have a tiebreaker.
I'm looking at this, because I mean we're talking in the respective defense, because AD is gonna play a wing in a common wing, like he can. There's a question when obviously Kevin Durant cannot be held, but I mean if they're to get in a series, there could be moments where he's gonna have to be out there. Chris Webber, I don't think Chris Webber is guarding the most elite guards because I've seen AD get out there and do those things, and I know Chris Webber's not quick enough to do those things. I know.
I agree with you on that skill,
but he didn't have to because he had Doug Christie and other guys around him. That
leads right back to my point that Sacramento was great.
They had a great team,
but a nice team. They won 60 games.
Nice. Best player on that team.
He was the best player on that team. A team full of nice people. He was the best player on that team.
It's close, bro.
Close. Peja, who else they had? Mike Bibby.
They had a squad, but he was still
the best player on the nicest team.
Yes. No. Completely agree. You're right with that.
And he ran into Shaq and Kobe.
Hey, look,
it took a cheating referee to beat them.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real.
You guys are actually convincing me.
Where trajectory is going with Anthony Davis's career, I don't even think I'm willing to die on this hill right now.
Right.
Seeing him hurt all the time. I don't even think this is something I should be talking about because I don't think it's true.
You mentioned it earlier, Chris Bosh or Anthony Davis. I'm taking Chris Bosh over Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Chris Bosh and C-Web.
These are all
C-Web. Take a C-Web.
Yeah,
so I'm
gonna go with C-Web.
I'm gonna leave C-Web in the pool for now.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you guys.
Yes, no, that's fine.
Next up,
it's tough still.
Who?
Joe Dumars.
No.
Oh.
Hey, he's got it. Tar has
I kind of want to hear Tar's reasoning for this one. I'm just intrigued by it because he's a 2-time defensive player of the year, right?
That's just basically what he was. He was a defensive player, really nothing much else. That's really what he was. So it's if you're gonna put him on there, you got to put every other defensive specialist that were number 2, number 3 options on their team on there.
Right.
As a top 75 player. If you were to say top 75 role players, yes. But that's what he was. He was a role player.
I'm kind of
you're right. You're right.
Because he also was MVP too. So
go ahead.
Then you got to put Andre Iguodala on there because he actually was an MVP.
Stop that. Stop it.
Hey guys, I have a question for you guys. Joe Dumars, to Tar's point. Was Joe Dumars ever the best defender on that Pistons team? Would you take him or Dennis Rodman? Because Dennis Rodman used to play some 3 and some 4 earlier before he moved to the 4s and the 5s. So do you think Dennis Rodman was a better defender, or do you think Joe Dumars? I mean, we didn't really see them play like that, but just kind of.
I think off the backside of my head,
Joe Dumars was the main person that would guard Mike. So
that's what I was about to get to. That's exactly what I was about to get to. And to still be efficient offensively, to go ahead and do some of the things that he was able to do. I feel like a lot of aspects of defense goes unsaid. For Klay Thompson, for example, you go out and you hold Kyrie Irving for 48 minutes and you still drop 35. Right. The fact that you still have – go ahead, Tar.
No, sorry.
No, you're good.
He didn't flourish, right, until Isaiah Thomas was gone. So when he played with Isaiah Thomas, he just what he was. But in the 93-94 season, the Detroit Pistons were no longer Detroit Pistons when he was the best player.
Yeah, no.
I didn't like that Pistons team, by the way. But anyway,
so it was when you added Grant Hill to the mix, he went back down to being average.
I'm gonna be honest. If I just look at it, it's. I could say no, but what Ralphie brought up is pretty important to me. As a finals MVP that is contributing, not Andre Iguodala. I'm just saying, he was contributing, but you know what I mean by that. I feel like as long as we look back at it and it was actually deserved. Is there an argument that he did not win that Finals MVP? Because I know Steph Curry
he had the Finals MVP as well.
Right. Yeah. Do we feel like Joe Dumars, if we look back at that Finals MVP, that he didn't deserve it? And if he did deserve it, then
hey, Ralph, what was his offensive output? What was his averages?
Because
Iggy used to score too.
For his career or just period?
For his career.
Okay. So his career, pretty pedestrian, honestly. 16 points, 5 assists, 46% shooting, 6-time All-Star, Finals MVP. I mean, he averaged 38% from the 3 too.
Okay, Kai, his best years came when Isaiah Thomas was no longer a factor. So 92-93, he averaged 23.5, but again, he was the best player. But then it's like there's a difference between him being your best player. When Isaiah was your best player, you're an NBA Finals team back to back. When he's your best player, you're just okay.
20-5.
You're just okay.
Which isn't nothing crazy, but Isaiah played on those two teams too.
Yeah.
So I'll put it like this: when he was the best player, right? What did
his points and assists did jump after Isaiah was gone, but he did average 20 and 5 in 91, and in 91, 92, and I think 92 was the year Isaiah tore his Achilles.
I was about to say that his shit was blown, his ankles was blown out. So I'm like,
so after Isaiah Thomas, right? He didn't really do anything as a leader. Because, like, think about it, like, Kawhi was a defensive specialist, and then he became, like, one of the greatest players to lace him up, but he's just not durable. So
that's my point.
Okay. Okay. I'm just thinking about my boy Kawhi. I was like, man, Joe Dumars wasn't Kawhi. All right.
Like, before I said Iguodala, I was going to say Kawhi. Right before I said that.
Because Kawhi was pretty much a role player at one point.
And Joe Dumars is no.
No. Hold on.
Well, actually, Trey, you're the deciding one.
Yeah, you are.
I just want to say something really quickly then. So we got final, and I'm just going to run through it one more time. We got a Finals MVP. He's a 2-time champ. He's a 3-time All-NBA. He's on the All-Rookie team, and he's a 5-time All-Defensive player. Now go to Golden State and tell me another 2-guard that we discussed having on this list and the difference in eras of shooting 3-pointers. Klay Thompson's supposed to be on this list, right? And we talking about another lockdown, too, that has the hardware. He's got a Finals MVP, which Klay will never get. And
we don't know about that. We don't know.
Okay, I don't want to speak too soon. Knock on wood.
Yeah, we don't know about that
story because it is possible. I'm sorry for speaking way too early, but he does have one, right? I feel like these are comparable careers due to era. Like, and I always think about this every single time, bro. If we talk about Michael Jordan, not one like he didn't shoot the 3 or something like different players. Joe Dumars didn't shoot the 3. If Joe Dumars was playing in 2022, I feel like he'd be shooting the 3 as well. Not as good as Klay Thompson would.
He shot
38%, right.
Back then.
When he did shoot it. I don't know how many attempts that was, though. Because Jordan took like one attempt.
That's not good. It's just not very good.
That's a really good argument, though, you made, Trey.
No, it's a great argument.
I just think of it, you know what I mean?
That's a great argument.
Because
I think of Klay.
I say throw him in the pool. Throw him in the pool.
Yeah, I say throw him in the pool and then see him. Next up, we got Mark Jackson. Kai, I'm sure if y'all had this conversation, y'all know how I feel about Mark Jackson. But when we start talking about, he was a great point guard. Really, if you're just studying how a point guard should be, but as a player,
no. Rondo.
This is like the second easiest no.
That's the easiest no.
He's a better Rondo in my personal opinion.
But Rondo got the accolades. He doesn't have the accolades Rondo has.
Bro made one All-Star game.
Yeah, but I'm as far as like,
does he have injury history? Mark Jackson.
Mark Rondo.
Well, he just
Mark.
He didn't blow your shoes off. He was because when he retired, he was like second in the league in assists. And I think right now he's like 4th or 5th or something like that.
Wasn't he ahead of Magic Johnson?
Honestly,
no.
In assists, he wasn't.
No, I think he was 3rd then. I think Magic had.
That's still impressive, but
right.
He was on a couple.
His career reminds me of like maybe.
But when the Lakers played them during the 3-peat, nobody was like Phil Jackson was like, "Yo, Derek Fisher, I need you to cut off the head of snake and stop Mark Jackson." Nobody thought about that, man. So
his best year was his rookie. His best year was his rookie year.
Right.
Okay. So his prime was his rookie year. His prime was his rookie year, huh?
Bro, he averaged 13, 10, and 5 and 2.5 steals per game.
He had a spark when he started.
You can pick around at seasons where he averaged more assists, but it's like 10 and 12, 9 and 11, 16 and 8. Like he had 13, 13.5, 10.5, 5 rebounds, and 2.5 steals in his rookie year. And that's what I looked at right away. I was like, how'd you average 9, 3, and 8, and you got rookie of the year? Like, so now I'm curious.
Yeah.
He dropped one album and dipped on us.
Dejounte Murray is better than Mark Jackson. Got it. All right, cool.
All right. So, here's our now we're getting to right now like recent players. But these are people that I have definitely on the list. Y'all tell me if y'all not rocking with it. Giannis, Kobe,
yes.
Tim Duncan, KG, Kevin Durant, Allen Iverson.
All of them, yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Everything's a yes.
All right. Then we got LeBron, Jason.
No.
Hold on. What?
They'll never do anything with Cleveland. Right. That LeBron James, he was never going to be anything. That's what Boozer and all of them was saying when he first was a rookie. Like, man, this rookie ain't going to be jack.
We don't. They literally said we don't need
Miles. Actually, what's the name? Darius Miles tried to say like knuckleheads. He was like, "Yo, I was kicking it with him before." Like he was like, I used to go watch him play and tell people like, "Yo, this thing is gonna be different."
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry, I just had to throw that.
Jason Kidd, Dirk, Chris Paul, Paul Pierce, Dwayne Wade, Gary Payton, James Harden, Ray Allen.
Wait, you said Paul Pierce?
Yeah, I swear to God, that was the only name that I heard was Paul Pierce.
Oh yeah, it rang out like thunder, man.
James Harden's not on there for me. James Harden's not on there for me.
Harden?
He's on there.
No, he's not on there for me.
Wait, James Harden, right?
Yeah.
No. He's not on. 75? Top 100 because of offensive system. But
top 100, yes. But 75
he benefited from the foul line too. Like he has a season where he literally was getting 12 attempts a game, bro. Like that's insane. You know, I still believe as a skilled player, I do believe that he's actually like a great handler.
I feel like that's tough.
Great player? No, I don't think of James Harden like that for me.
Like where do you rank James Harden in your shooting guards
right now?
Yeah.
In terms of the
all-time, y'all gonna laugh at me. I think Manu Ginobili is better than him.
Whoa.
But that's you know what? Like there was an argument of having Manu on this list. There's an argument of having Manu on this list.
I just thought because it's like when you say stuff like that, I forgot who I'm talking to. But when you say stuff like that to like the regular people, Manu Ginobili, what over James Harden? No. But I can make a better argument for Manu than I could Harden.
Because of the hardware?
I would disagree.
Not even just hardware. Just because it's like they both start as 6 men, right? And if you can't help the fact where Manu Ginobili played. He played for the Spurs, right? So it's like it's hard for him to get shine as a third best option, but he was clutch. He showed up in the playoffs and all that. James Harden doesn't show up in the playoffs. He disappears in the playoffs.
Oh, I think to compare those two though, way too soon for Harden in his first final stint. Right.
But if we're talking about a list of 75 though. So if we're already going to put him on the list right now, and it's hard to put him on the list right now, Manu Ginobili's career has already been set
for
done.
Sure. I agree with that, but like now we're talking career trajectories where Manu Ginobili never had to do anything that James Harden ever thought about doing in Houston. I think that's huge. Like I think that's a big reason. And the reason why I bring up the way too soon because the band broke up too early, obviously with James Harden having to leave. Okay, see, maybe that's due to more his personal, like you know what I mean. I think there's a lot of off the court stuff that we talk about, but like when I look at I could not, and I'm not saying it's factual because I think Manu needs to be brought up on this list or it needs to be in a debate at least. I couldn't like when the way you're saying it right now, like it's factual for you hard. I would consider and think about it, but the way that the career trajectories went, it makes it a little tough for me just because I feel like everything was so set in place. We look back at OKC, like it just wasn't like that. And everybody played their role a little bit better in San Antonio, obviously, a little bit like you're saying. I think for what it's worth, like obviously Russell, KD, and James Harden, like whether it was personalities, whatever the fact may have had it, like it didn't work out. But like just thinking of it like that, like I don't know, because like Harden had to skip out to Houston due to and it was I honestly still to this day, it was their fault. It was their fault. They paid Ibaka before they paid Harden. Like, what are you doing? So, like, I feel like they get a ring. That team gets a ring if Harden gets paid, and they picked the wrong guy.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you guys, do you believe, and this will kind of be my last point on it, and because Ralph, did you have him in yours? Did you say yes to him?
I said yes.
Okay. So yes, no, I think yes. My only thing with Harden is this. You know how there's sometimes what we call outliers, right? So, I'm sure you guys all, his stats. I'm sure you guys have all watched videos on James Harden, highlights or breakdowns on Harden or about how great of offensive player he was or his unguardability, right? When I look at Harden, I know we're talking about greatness, but just from a skill set alone, how your peers talk about you does matter. And he's always been one of like the top 2 or top 3 most unguardable players for his respective era that that defenders and just peers say, and they're like, oh, let me get that. Let me get his skill set, whatever. But also he has one of the greatest offensive peaks in NBA history for like at least like a 3-year stretch. And also I think that also matters because he really was like a system. And then he played with Mike D'Antoni and different things of that nature. And he was actually a leader of a team. Unlike someone like Ginobili. Now, Ginobili, I still think should be on there. That's why I think it's a weird comparison. I think that's what Trey was trying to say. I don't think it's really an apt comparison. But then once you get to the playoffs, like for me, Tars, like once he got to the playoffs, I also do agree that he's not clutch. But there's also other really good players in NBA history who have been really good scorers as well, who also weren't clutch or as clutch. Maybe a Paul George, you know what I'm saying? And like that, but James Harden still offensively is better than him because I think what's his career average, Ralph? Like 27. I don't know what James Harden's career average is.
And now you bringing that up. Kai. Like I want to make sure to prove this point for Tar too. Tar, I take into consideration inflation of the era because it's inflation like a motherfucker. When I see Luka Doncic, and I know he's tall, when I see him getting 16 rebounds in a night, trust me, I'm like, what are we doing? Are we doing
it's
like
ISO pick and roll era?
It's like all that scoring leads absolutely nothing. It leads to absolutely nothing, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can score all day, leads to nothing.
They won games, but Kobe put it. Kobe did put it best. Like they won a lot of games, and I think the year that Chris Paul got hurt, they stood a real good chance. I'm not going to say you plug in Chris Paul to win the series, like a lot of people will. I think it's a lot more to it than just that. But Kobe said it wasn't winning style basketball, and I believed it for the longest time. I believed it to be true.
Let me ask y'all this. I haven't really kept control of the list. Is Carmelo Anthony top 75 on the list?
He's one of the most clutch players ever.
Y'all, because we still got a lot of people we got to get to.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying like Carmelo, James Harden. That's a better one.
That's
actually an interesting.
At this point, there's certain players that were already on it, and then there's people that was on the bubble. So Melo is on the bubble. James Harden was in it. Now I'm not the reason why I brought him up is if you have a problem, put him in the pool or take him off the list. That's what I'm trying to lead to. So we got to move on. But are we putting James Harden in the on?
No, not for me. No. Nope.
I'm gonna say yes.
All right, so he's going on the bubble, and then we'll wait for Trey. Trey will be the deciding factor whether or not he gets in later.
I think he was arguing yes, though.
Yeah. So we'll put him in here for now. The next person is Melo.
No.
But at this, actually, no. The next person after that was Ray Allen. And this is someone that, does he stay on the list or not?
Ray Allen is a yes for me.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool. Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
You don't have to ask me.
So everybody at this point is either if all four of us say yes, they go on the list. If there's an argument, we put them on the bubble. So Melo.
No.
Then he goes on the bubble at this point because I'm gonna say yes.
Man, he won awards with Kobe. I feel like Melo.
Bro, I think he's the greatest. Like sometimes I be thinking he's the greatest scorer of all time.
I don't know, but he's one of them. He's one of them. He's like top 3, top 5.
KD, Kobe, and Mike are like in this threshold that I put like that don't even exist like in his prime.
Hey, Shaq got to be in the scoring list too, just off the strength. But anyway,
I guess I'm just thinking of wings. I'm just like thinking of wings right now.
No, Melo used to give KD buckets too in his prime. But anyway, for the sake of time, I'm gonna say
put Melo on
because he's also clutch. He's also clutch.
So he stays on. So we gonna go Anthony Davis.
No. Sorry, Trey. I can't do it.
No,
okay,
it's fine. Okay. It's fine. I'll say no. I thought this through.
No peer pressure, bro. No peer pressure, man.
Hey,
like Kendrick said, the peer pressure, man.
No, trust me. If I felt a different way, I felt the way about Anthony Davis all year. Like, and I'm not even a Lakers fan.
To let y'all know for context, at this point, we have 49 people on the list of the 75.
That's not bad.
So, just to let y'all know,
that's solid.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people that are 11 people that are on the bubble.
Okay.
20, and there's 26 spots left. Dame.
No.
Thank you. So I don't have to argue against it. And I like Dame.
Steve Nash.
No.
Jesus.
Wait. You said no to Steve Nash?
Wait.
Tar said no? No, I'm not. I'm just curious.
I'm debating it because in my mind I'm saying no, but then I'm like, yeah.
He's a one-time MVP.
No, he got 2.
No, he's a
one-time MVP though.
He's a
like
one-time.
we all know what we're saying.
That's what I said no because like MVP.
That's why we're like, nah, bro. He's really a one-time MVP.
No,
maybe a zero-time MVP, man. Shaq and Cole. But anyway, we're gonna get into that, bro.
Oh, this one's hard.
I don't like Steve Nash, and I'm trying not to be biased.
It's the James Harden to me. Why though? Because to me, it's like, what is it? Because is the number inflation because of how great he is, or is it because of the system he was in?
Because you brought that up.
Because we see in the 7-game series, both of them aren't when they play the Spurs and when they play the Warriors, they disappear. Like certain defensive schemes, it's over. So is it the scheme or the player?
I put Harden in. So
that's why I'm saying no to the both of them because it's I don't understand if it's the scheme or is it them.
Hey, Ralph, I'm going to give you a stat real quick. This is my last point on Steve Nash. I saw something on NBA Reddit one time. This was years back. They said Steve Nash from 2001 to 2009 or 2010 led like the number one offensive rated or offense or some crazy stat like that. Every time he was like the point guard, his offenses were like top 2 in the NBA in offensive rating. That's insane. So you got to factor in that some of those years was when he was with the Mavericks, bro. He wasn't even in Phoenix at the time. So that could be a little bit more. He's
like when I think of Steve Nash, he's like a point guard, bro. Like he's one of those. He
was really ball dominant. He can't play without the ball, but if you have the ball in his hands,
that's probably like one of the biggest knocks besides the fact that he would get his ass cooked at any moment.
Yeah,
and he'd get cooked. That boy.
But you guys said no, right?
That's where I'm debating it.
I'm gonna say yeah.
We put on that. I say yes.
Okay. I'll say yes off the strength of the match.
I'm Simon Cowell, so no. I'm Simon, bro.
Tar's a tough crowd, bro.
This is my thing. At a certain point, the question is to put them in the bubble. So I gotta before we even got to him, there's 11 people. Actually, some of these people actually got to take off because they all got put in the bubble. So it's like there's 26 spots right now. I'd probably say because we put Bob McAdoo, and Rob, all 4 of us said yes on all 3 of them. So at this point, I think there's 23 spots. So if you're gonna say no to Steve Nash, then who's getting in?
You got to leave that to Tar. Tar's gonna have a hell of a time at the end.
That's the part where
he'll be looking for players.
At this point, it's where we're running out of names. When
I can think of some names to add, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story.
I'm saying it, but I got some more I got to get to. But at a certain point, so
I'm debatable with Steve Nash. That's not an auto because James Harden's automatic no for me. But Steve Nash, I debated it, so you could say yes for Steve Nash.
Did Chris Paul make the list?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
He was one of those ones when Ralphie was just naming through.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Russell Westbrook.
No, hell no. Absolutely not. No.
I'm not going to go back on my word because I've been saying no for all this time, but me and Ralph, we had a conversation about this over the phone, and I played devil's advocate, and I made the case, guys, right? I made the case, and I've been saying no for years, and I said definitely no this year because I just don't believe he impacts winning. But then I was like, he just doesn't impact winning in the playoffs because in the regular season, right, if you put Russell Westbrook on an average enough team, whether it was OKC or the Washington Wizards. And I'm glad I had this conversation with my big brother over dinner, right? When he was with the Wizards, because he's a Wizards fan. He watched every single Russ game live. He was like, he carried that team. Like Russell Westbrook will actually always get you to the playoffs. And at some point that really does matter because not every player on this tier can actually do that. The problem is every time he gets in the playoffs, he's a detriment to your team. But in terms of greatness, in terms of greatness, like he can carry an offense. It's weird. He's like that's why I call him the Tasmanian devil. But
he does things that he doesn't have to do though. Because it's like I think leading teams is one thing, but it's like you don't have to. Like that Thunder team that he won MVP on, you forgot he had Andre. Why did I say? Yeah. Why I'm thinking that he had what's that? You know who I'm thinking about? The dude on Indiana. No, the dude in Indiana. The one from Indiana that's always hurt.
Oladipo.
Like he never used Oladipo as a second option. Like he tried to isolate that kid out the game a bunch.
I feel
like Trey has.
This was a really good example of like pure talent, like being there because I think the biggest fall off with Russell Westbrook is his IQ. Yeah, it literally is his IQ. like bro, you're so talented, but the IQ is like such a huge drop off. And I think a lot of what we discussed, like sports media, whether it be like if we go off the what have you done for me lately, a lot of these guys wouldn't make the list personally. I mean, if we're talking about off MVP stint for him, then maybe we could be talking about something different. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like, I don't even need to play devil's advocate. Like, I understand that it is not extremely successful to lead the way that he does, but the stuff that he did during his MVP campaign, no other player can do, including LeBron James. Like, I have not seen that, bro. A triple-double, like, to average a triple-double that he did. Like, and I know again, I'm going to revert back. Like, no, I don't want this to be my point guard because I understand where you guys are coming from 100,000%. But, like, it's not like there's a time where you talk about stat pad and stuff like that. There's other guys that are going to be on this list eventually. I think Luka Doncic is the same thing as James Harden. I think they just inflate stats the same exact way. I think that he goes for his numbers, and he got numbers that I could never even – I can barely do this shit in 2K. I can barely do this shit in 2K.
Okay, so here's the thing about his numbers as MVP year, though. He had 2 7-footers. They were setting picks, and he was just getting rebounds. So that was more coaching than him, to be honest with you.
Well, and I do think they gave him rebounds in spite of what was coming. Trust me, I really do. Like, I don't think for him to even hit the number that he was supposed to, like, he aimed for it. It's just
we need a tiebreaker. We need a tiebreaker, and I think I got it. I think I got the tiebreaker, guys. I'm gonna hit you guys with one question because we need a tiebreaker.
Kai, what you got?
Would you take James Harden and Steve Nash over Westbrook?
I don't want any of them. But I would take Nash. I take Nash. I take Nash over them.
Then I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no to Russ. Then if you would take Nash over,
I would take him over Russ.
Then I would say no to Russ.
I would take all three. I would take all three because I feel like I'm leaving somebody out for something that I don't understand.
I think because of Nash's IQ for me.
Yes, that's it. I'm taking
what Trey's saying though. I'm gonna take Nash.
That to me, the way that you guys are answering it to me personally, and that's why I brought it up, is because I'm not building a fucking franchise today. I'm talking about what they did. I don't care about his. I understand like it has to be a kicker. Like if I start the franchise tomorrow, damn show I want Steve Nash because he's smart as hell. I mean, like I could bend back and talk about athleticism. Can Russell Westbrook? I know he ain't playing no defense. I know he ain't doing much. He ain't giving much effort. But I know damn well if I got everything out of him, he's gonna guard better than Steve Nash ever will. He's gonna give more effort. I know he will bleed on the court before James Harden will. James Harden, bro, like I've seen stuff this year that I haven't seen from many players so far as effort's concerned, and I know Russell Westbrook's effort is being questioned. But I think he's in a unique situation, and I say this 10 times out of 10 every single time. You play for the Los Angeles Lakers, the media is on your ass, and I'm not caveating for him because I do think there's a lot going on. But yeah, the Lakers, and then you play on LeBron's team. That's a nightmare.
Okay, this isn't a fair question to ask.
Yeah, he needs the ball.
There's a real reason why Kevin Durant left him though.
Yeah,
he's not the guy that you win with. And that's the point. His teams were great. He was on some stacked teams, but he was I don't want to say he was the sole beneficiary of why they didn't win, but he had a lot to do with why they didn't win. Because I would see like games where you're playing with the MVP. He has 50 points, and you're trying to score 50 with him, and you're going 11 for 50, 11 for 40 shooting. Don't shoot that much. You got the MVP on your team. Pass the damn ball, right? A lot of the successes of why like I want to win a championship. It was I don't want to blame him solely, but the effort that you guys said that he gives is too much.
Ralph, you said no. You're right. Ralph, you said no, right?
So that's why I'm saying no, like no, because he cost teams championships more than he helped win during regular season.
The reason again, I'm gonna say it again. The reason why he's in for me is because I can't, and I know you got a sample size right in front of you. You got from 2008 till 2022. Yeah. But I think if we don't even look at this year and we just take him off of Washington last year, I think maybe tunes are sung a little bit different, just a little bit, because I think this year it's easy to say Russell Westbrook's in the shit, right? I mean,
so
I put him in, yeah.
So the vote is 3-1, like the lead that OKC blew. So I'm gonna say no.
So at this point, we got Kyrie.
Go ahead.
Kyrie is up. I say yes.
No.
I'm gonna be objective, man. And you guys know I love Kyrie. But when
I'm gonna say hell no. Actually, no.
When the list came, Ralph, I wasn't moved by the fact that he wasn't on it, and that's my second favorite player of this era right now. So I'm going to say respectfully to Kyrie Irving, great skilled player, but if he doesn't do it. Everything else you need, he doesn't do it.
You want to talk about being on teams by yourself?
Right. Yeah, he did hit arguably if not the greatest, one of the greatest shots in NBA history.
Oh, that's actually. But I think we go back to the question with like Russell Westbrook and leading teams, and you talk about your brother being at that Wizards game. Like if Kyrie was on that Wizards team and it was just him, I don't know if they would have won 15 games.
That's true. Yeah. That is definitely true. That's amazing.
And the Celtics thing with the Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and all that. So I'm gonna say no.
But to play devil's advocate on that, Kyrie knows where to be at. He knows where to be at when he is in position. So when he does have a chance to win a title, and that much is made evident, that's the difference between him and Russell Westbrook right there.
Yeah.
So up next, Klay Thompson.
Yes.
All right. So that puts him on the list where everybody else that we just mentioned is just in the bubble.
Whew.
All right.
People are in the bubble. Oh, go ahead.
Probably too many.
Up next, we got Draymond Green.
No.
Am I being harsh? I need to check.
I softened up on Draymond so much over the years, man.
Yeah.
Not this year. The human slot machine that made the All-Star game. 7, 7, 7, and 7, and he made the All-Star game.
But we can't have everyone in the bubble, right? Man. But he was crying in the parking lot to KD, saying,
he's got some nasty accolades.
He do. He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Bro is averaging 8, 7, and
he's a Hall of Famer though.
8, 7, and 5, bro. It sounds like an area code.
I mean, but he was never the rebounder that Rodman was either in this era.
Dude, I just need give me 12 or 13 points.
So, like, my question is, do we attribute it because of him or because of his squad?
No, his squad is nice, but he just plays his role really well.
His
IQ and vocal leadership is amazing.
Those two things go hand in hand.
The talent of Draymond Green, I say he's top 75. But when I start looking at numbers, when I start comparing his numbers to other people, it's hard for me to say that he's anything better than that. Or that he's even close to that. I just know I've watched Draymond Green since college, and I've watched him up until
he's a bucket in Michigan.
He is probably he was a bucket, he could offense, great defender, and a good rebounder.
He's he's a not as good Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
But
that's a weird comparison to me. I don't know why.
He's not as good as Rasheed Wallace. Both got attitudes and will have you get a technical off bat, but Rasheed Wallace is doing more offensively.
I was gonna say because Rasheed Wallace was a better rim protector and he was a bucket getter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's my knock for him.
That's
my knock against him. He's a less good Rasheed Wallace.
But nobody. I wasn't sure how y'all felt about that.
Hey, the Luka and Draymond Green fantasy combo I ran last year. man, won me the chip. So I don't know, man. Draymond was one of the greatest fantasy players last year for me.
So Draymond is out.
I'm gonna say yes to Draymond. Everyone can't be on the bubble, man.
Right.
Draymond, I'll move Ralph, man. Put some respect on his name. Draymond. AKA
Manu Ginobili.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So that leaves us with 21 spots left.
Whew.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, man.
So up next, Dwight Howard.
Yes.
No.
I know how you feel with that.
Absolutely not.
Yes. I'm gonna say yes.
But okay.
Are you sure?
For the sole purpose of this, I'm gonna say yes. But in real life, no.
Speak your truth, man.
Hell no. But yes. Yes, for the sake of this, because yes, but no.
Okay.
Those years up until his back injuries. So pretty much everybody out anything now, these are players whose careers were greatly affected by injuries.
Oh man.
So Dwight Howard, yes for me.
Yes.
Yes, because of the era he played in.
I thought he was the biggest.
He was in a different era. He was cheeks, but yes.
Nah.
You're saying no, Trey?
No, he's a yes.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, moving on, Ralph.
I feel like he'd be pretty good.
Up next, my boy, T-Mac.
No.
I'm going to say yes.
No.
Kobe kept his name respectfully on his tongue for so long, and I told you, I think we discussed it. Like T-Mac didn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but he had Hall of Fame talent.
Nah, I disagreed after I looked at the stats at pretty much his years that he played every year. People act like T-Mac only had 4 or 5 good years. Like I could see the conversation with Derrick Rose. He literally only had 3 years. T-Mac had 8-9 years of prime.
His postseason is abysmal, though.
Yeah, but he also lost 10 times in the first round, which is crazy. And it wasn't
abysmal.
And it wasn't always due to a lack of team, because he did have talented teams. He did admit to, not always, taking himself seriously in the gym. There was also, the choke 3-1 lead he did. I mean, there was times mentally where I don't think T-Mac had that drive that necessarily that Kobe had, but in terms of talent, he was widely respected. And so when T-Mac found out he went to the Hall of Fame, it was almost kind of like, oh snap, I made the Hall. You know what I'm saying? I always felt it's kind of like I'm just making the case. It's like T-Mac could have been, but eventually, but in terms of his actual career, it's kind of like but he made it. Whether he was deserving to make it is a whole nother scenario. I also think nostalgia plays a huge role into it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's just me. That's literally me. I don't know how Trey feels. I know Tar said no, but that's just me. I love T-Mac.
He's in.
So now we need a tiebreaker now. So all right.
At this point, I
got him.
So
13 and 33 is a tiebreaker. 13 points, 33 seconds.
If that's the case, Luke Kennard is a top 75.
So I get it.
You feel me? Like
only help who you're in there with. Like at a certain point, but when you go and look at his playoff numbers, it's not like he didn't perform well. Even if you go all the way throughout the board, now he might have messed up when it came down to crunch time and shit like that. But as far as like just straight up all the way across the board, even your efficiency rating, it's hard to find someone who played outside of the next tier of players at a certain point. Like the year,
go ahead.
Year that they lost to
the Jazz,
to the Pistons, he was averaging 34 points in that series.
No, he did, but then he also was shooting under 40% from the field in the last two or so games.
I'm gonna tell you why point averages is so overrated to me, because it's how much you're the best player on your team, right? And you have the ball in your hands the most. I expect you to score 34 because you're the best player on the team. I expect that.
It's value.
Right? It's volume, because he was a volume player. I expect that every single night. But can that scoring do enough to lead you beyond that point? No, it didn't. So that to me is why I'm saying no to a lot of these players, like the Harden stuff, because they're volume players. You're getting a lot. You have the ball in your hand the most. So I kind of expect those numbers, but do something with them. You didn't do anything with them.
My thing is, how do you lose in the first round 10 times?
That's what I'm saying. You did nothing being the best player. Nothing. You scored 34 for no reason, basically.
That's terrible. I hate how Tar's saying that. Like Tar, you scored 34
but I'm saying
for me, it's like it's at a certain point, bro. You got to look at like it's. There's other reasons to that. Just because you're the best player on that team doesn't mean that it's your fault. Like I feel like we give people credit for the team for a team thing, then and not enough and way too much blame when it's when shit don't go the way that they is.
But it's like when you put certain people on the team, you know, it's like, okay, he puts me over the edge. I've never got that from. He does not put you over the edge that much for you to be a playoff person. You know what I'm saying? Like Vince Carter, when he was on the team with Vince Carter still led a team like past second round, first round. Yeah. But I get what you're saying, and I get your point with Vince Carter, Kai. But I'm saying he still was enough to lead you over the hump. Tracy McGrady was never enough to lead anyone over the hump. He never led you over the hump. Like
you guys already know how I feel, so I said no, but you know,
that's why we disagree.
No, hey, we respect that, man. Like, you know, still love T-Mac, bro.
Yeah, I love him, but I'm just saying, is he a top 75 player? No, he's not to me.
I got him in my top 100.
He's top 100 easily, but 75, no.
Probably top 76.
He'd average like 60. He'd average like 65 points in the 70s.
In this era, bro, this dude.
I say, up next is Amari Stoudemire.
No.
I don't even gotta look and know.
I ain't gotta look now.
Yao Ming.
Yao was so cold, but no.
Nah, it's hard.
Nope.
No.
And Chris Bosh.
The East was weak.
No.
Like it was weak when he had a team in Toronto, and it was weak when he was on the stack team that they conspired together to run the league and defeat Gilbert Arenas and all them. So no. Good defender. Could shoot the 3, stretch 4, play some 5.
He played a beneficial part though of LeBron winning that ring because I know like in spurts of the regular season he wasn't great, but he did show up times hit that I think it was the Mavericks. He hit the game when he shot versus the Mavericks, and then that rebound, that Ray Allen the tip out. So I mean he showed up in moments. So that's where
nice. You know who else showed up in moments? Robert Horry, but he's not top 75 graded.
True.
Sorry, man. True. Sorry, Chris Bosh. Yeah, sorry, man.
Robert Horry is not Chris Bosh.
That's true. But he was a damn clutch.
That's and that's where I put it in.
He was probably the most. Robert Horry was probably more.
You gotta at a certain point you're running out of players.
That's true. I just can't do it, man.
And there's out of all the names we just went through, I literally only have 11.
I'll revisit
15.
I'll revisit some of my notes later, but as of right now, just keep going.
But
I would say yeah.
So, I'd say yes.
So I say Chris Bosh gets in
yes.
my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And then so we got. I'm trying to remember what it. So at this point I haven't mentioned Vince Carter.
Yeah, you know this one I was interested in.
I'm yes with Vince.
I'm no with Vince. Honestly.
I want to hear what Trey has to say on this one because I always go quick.
Rookie of the year, man. This is not good.
I used to say him and Paul Pierce were like, well, let me not do that because Vince Carter won an MVP, didn't he?
No,
bro. I'm gonna be honest.
He was top 10 in MVP voting though at one point.
I want to do a little math right now and take away from Memphis on because it's just a bunch of bullshit at the bottom of this list. Like so far as his average is concerned. Like, bro, in 2014, this goes all the way to 2020, right? 2014-15 with Memphis, he averaged 5. This is on the list: 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 4. And before that, he's only averaged double digits his entire career. So if you remove that, I wonder what that does to his. And I'm not saying you just remove that, but he obviously was just out there.
Right.
He was.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was on the veteran mentor program essentially for the longest time. And consider the fact that he had 16, 4-4 or 4-3 I wonder what that does to his. Yeah, it's a no though. It's a no. I'm not. I was just saying, like, I wonder. You take those 5 years off. I wouldn't.
I'm gonna say the person that ended his streak though of like was Allen Iverson, because they used to go at it in the playoffs. Took him to game 7s and stuff, and he was averaging like what 30 something. Because to me, that's where when I said Tracy McGrady shit doesn't matter compared to that. Like Tracy McGrady was good enough, but it was never really. It was just okay, right? Where Vince Carter, it's almost like it took somebody else for you to lose. You know what I'm saying? It took Allen Iverson to get him out of there, right?
But did you say yes? Did you say yes, Tar?
I said yes to Vince Carter, and not only I said yes to Vince Carter, absolutely yes.
And Trey said no, and Ralph
said yes.
I said no.
Oh, you said no? Yeah, me no. Too.
I said no because I know that there was a guy in Boston who was actually, as much as I don't like him, as slightly.
Oh, Paul Pierce is definitely on there for me.
Yeah,
he's better. He's actually better than Vince Carter. But people.
Oh, he definitely was. Yeah, he definitely was.
At what?
Leading a team.
Oh, I thought we were talking about like hooping. I was about to
say. And he was going to war against LeBron, man. I was like, man, he gave LeBron 44 in the playoffs.
Yeah, but
and he was more clutch than Vince Carter.
That entire Celtics team,
and a better defender than Vince Carter, and a Finals MVP. Like Paul Pierce, like that's why he feels clutch. Like
he was a Finals MVP. He's decorated. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just don't like.
The reason why people don't like him is because he talks about his accolades rather than letting.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it.
Because my opinion, the entire Celtics team, aside from Rondo, which pretty much stays pretty quiet on everything, like they seem to think that they won like 10 championships during that era.
They actually underachieved.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Another reason, that wheelchair shit pissed me off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He acted like he was Willis Reed, bro.
So
no, I'll say no on Vince Carter though.
Let's keep it rolling, Ralph.
All right, Tony Parker.
Yes. That dude's so underrated with the finishes.
No brainer.
I parallel park the flying spur. Tony Parker comeback season.
You just gotta go back through, and unless y'all got somebody I haven't mentioned before
to add.
Yeah.
No, because the person I thought about adding, you guys already removed one person who was in the same tier who's had more success in his career than that guy. So I'm gonna say, no, I don't have anyone to add anymore.
Hold on.
At this point, I only got 56 names on the 75.
Oh, so we need to start adding players?
Yeah. So now I'm going back through. Now, unless you got someone I have not mentioned.
Yeah.
Now we got to go back through what I've already put in the bubble.
Okay. So let's start off with Damian Lillard, right? Let's start off with Damian Lillard.
But
you said what?
I mentioned Dame. I mentioned Dame already. Y'all said no.
Yeah, I said no. Are we still back
through?
But but at this point, I got to go back and add people to it.
Okay. So we have 56, and we need how many more?
19.
What? 19 names out of the pool.
Yeah.
All right.
We need 19.
19.
Good God.
Man, how many do we have in the pool?
56.
Oh, we can get 19 out of 56. All right, I'm ready to roll.
Let's start naming some.
All right. So back to the top. Nate Archibald.
No.
I'm here with you now.
All right, Bob Cousy.
Yes.
Cool. Next up, Dave Cowens.
No.
Nope.
No.
That's nope. John Havlicek.
Did we say yeah?
I thought we said yeah on that one.
We said yeah.
Yeah, we said yes for Havlicek.
Some of the coolest white boys ever.
Yeah.
Well, that was just putting him in the boat. That wasn't putting him on the list.
Right.
Can I throw a name that you haven't thrown?
Yeah.
Paul Gasol, Paul George.
Yep. I was going to mention. I was going to mention both of those guys because I said if I'm going to say it real quick, guys, it was this. And me and Ralph have talked about this many times. If you look at Damian Lillard, right, and you look at Paul George, because people always talk about Damian Lillard's this and the shot and everything, they literally have the same exact career accolades for their entire career, with the one exception. Paul George twice took the Miami Heat super team with LeBron at his peak, even though LeBron had multiple peaks, but at his peak in Miami, to 7 games, 2 years in a row in the Eastern Conference Finals as a 23-year-old. The dude was hooping, right? But then if you go to OKC, before he went to – he teamed up with my boy Kawhi Leonard, he's one of the only players in NBA history, out of like 3 players in NBA history, to finish top 3 in MVP and top 3 in Defensive Player of the Year voting. Damian Lillard's peak was never like that. Also, he had far more playoff success than Damian Lillard before he ever went to enjoying Kawhi Leonard. So if you look at Paul George and him being a two-way player, him also having a higher peak, him also going up against a LeBron James-led super team that was stacked against him when his second best player was Roy Hibbert and George Hill. Like they've always been on the same tier of players. So I'm like, if we put Dame on there, because he was, I think, on the original list that they came out, I'm like, Paul George should also be on there. You know what I'm saying? 100%.
So and I think that also comes to likability. That's likability, just like you just said with Paul Pierce. Although
you know what I'm saying?
It's not some of the same things, like we call him playoff P and stuff like that. All the stuff that happened with Joe Ingles and like how social media works itself. Like I think it discredits a guy like Paul George.
And Trey, my last point is this, even though I'm not saying, I'm not making the Hall of Fame case, but Tracy McGrady, right? Him being in the Hall of Fame is going to open up Pandora's box to a lot of people. Because if you look at their careers, even though he's not the scorer of a Tracy McGrady, but him being a two-way player.
Damn, the defender, though.
People like, yeah, Paul George is a Hall of Famer. And I was like, hey, people want to laugh at me now, but I'm like, watch. When Paul George retires, if he stays healthy, everyone's going to be like, oh, man, we got to look at Paul George in the ballot. So
if you put Pau Gasol in there, what about Jokic?
Yeah, I was going to say Jokic.
I don't have a problem with Jokic being on there.
The fact that AD gets brought up, Jokic should be on that list, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
He should.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So we got
as simple as I can make it.
My bad. We're adding both Paul George and Pau Gasol, right?
I like that. I like both.
I like it. I've always liked Pau.
And Jokic.
I love Pau.
If y'all down, I'd add Jokic.
Okay.
All right. So we got 62 names. We need 14 more. So I got at this point we're gonna go back through Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, did you say Derrick Rose?
Tar is like against his will right now.
Yeah, I know.
I have said Derrick Rose, but
no Derrick Rose.
But if you're not gonna put, I didn't mention him because if you're not gonna put Tracy McGrady on there, his peak was longer. Why would you put Derrick Rose on there?
Okay,
Derrick Rose is unpopular. Derrick Rose is MVP.
I'm not saying this about Derrick Rose. Grant Hill. I put Grant Hill in front of Tracy McGrady.
Ralph's like the T-Mac slander.
Derrick Rose for sure could be on there.
I just feel like if you're gonna put Grant Hill, you gotta put Tracy McGrady.
Hey, yo, Tar, Ralph's never gonna mess with you again, man. For that, bro. He's like, man, the T-Mac slander.
I'm not gonna talk. I care less about that.
I'm messing with you guys.
How can you argue one when one didn't even play for?
No, because one's the MVP though. One was literally the MVP at what 20? Was he the youngest MVP in history?
Yeah.
Counted Bill Walton and he had the same career.
Derrick.
I'm saying no. I'm not saying I'm putting Grant Hill top 25. I'm saying I'm putting him over Tracy McGrady. Derrick
Rose led the team
because I feel like Grant Hill transitioned the game more than Tracy McGrady did. Because when we talked about 6'8", we had this argument at your house with Lamar Odom. He transitioned that. Like he's the reason why we look at certain players, 6'8" players, and give him respect. Because I feel like he did more for the game than Tracy McGrady did. But it's just his injuries prolonged it.
I thought Grant Hill was more of, I'm not saying he's big as LeBron, but people always say LeBron and Magic. Yeah, he has Magic's passing skills, but everything else LeBron does, I'm like Grant Hill.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point of that. Yeah. Because I'm saying I feel like he's more valuable, in my personal opinion, than Tracy McGrady is. I'm not saying Grant Hill's a top 25 player.
The thing is, you can't be valuable if you're not available, though.
Yeah.
You can't.
But I'm saying, like, in the tiers of, like, why Tracy McGrady wouldn't be on the list for me is because, like, I would think of a Grant Hill before I would put Tracy McGrady on there.
See, it's just –
yeah.
No, because if you just literally the first job that you have as a professional is to be available.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I'm saying he's not on there. He's definitely not on there. But I'm saying if I had to make an argument for one or the other, it would be him before Tracy.
Tracy was more present, and so basically what you're doing with that is saying that if Grant was present, which is hypothetical, if he was present, he would overdo everything that T-Mac would have did. But you don't know that. That's hypothetical, I feel, right?
Shoot, if he was there, T-Mac would have got out of the fucking.
No, I know everybody says it because Grant is a. Grant.
Sorry, bro.
I'm just saying.
No, I kind of do get what you're saying about the influence, Tar.
What about Penny Hardaway?
Nah. Yeah. Penny Hardaway was never the MVP level of Derrick Rose. He was very talented though. Yeah, very talented. But Derrick Rose for me, he look, Derrick Rose, right? 60 wins though. He didn't even have
Derrick, you don't have to explain Derrick Rose to me. Like,
I think Derrick Rose has a stronger case.
Are you guys putting him on?
I would put Derrick Rose because we need to fill some spots. And I'm saying the one MVP on this out of these role players, not saying the rest of role players, but I'm just saying that Derrick Rose has a damn MVP.
I'm not.
I need Ralph to stick up for us.
He's not top 75 to me, but I
already said no to Bill Walton, and they literally have the same type of career.
But Bill Walton didn't play that.
Hold on. Why are we comparing Derrick Rose to Bill Walton?
That's what I said, man.
MVP won a finals and then got hurt.
Man, Derrick Rose would dunk all over Bill Walton, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Did Bill Walton make it look sexy?
You look musty.
Bro, Derrick Rose is a human blur. He was a blur. He was a human blur.
Yeah. He still won a finals MVP, won an MVP, won a finals.
And I feel like what he ran into the first like the first juggernaut super team, because the Celtics weren't as juggernaut. They were still a super team, but the Miami Heat was the biggest juggernaut that we've ever seen in that era. And that's all that stopped him from at least appearing. And I'm not gonna be the guy that says that Derrick Rose did everything for that team, because the team defense was amazing, and the reason why they weren't successful is they didn't have another creator. He was their creator. You know what I mean? They went on spurts where they went on dry spells and they lost games, but like he was the reason why they were even relevant offensively. Like they played amazing defense and they relied on him.
I'm only doing this from a comparison standpoint.
No, I get you.
This one, how can you say yes to this one?
Because once again, Derrick Rose, MVP. This dude was the youngest MVP in the league for a reason. 60 wins. You take him off that team, right? You could, if you take T-Mac right off the Rockets, you can run offense to a 25 point per game score and pow. I don't want Boozer to be my number one option on the Bulls. I'm sorry. And Joakim Noah and Taj Gibson, defensive rebounders, and Ronnie Brewer.
And you're going up against a deflated ass LeBron team too.
Right. Also, your boy John Lucas, Ralph, said that people were ducking the smoke and faking injuries again when it came to playing Derrick Rose. Why? Because he instilled a level of fear. I don't think Bill Walton instilled fear in Moses Malone or whoever else he played. So
I would leave with this. I would leave with this one, right? Because I can't exactly tell you. I think it's in 77-78 that Bill Walton won his MVP, because now we're just talking about MVPs.
MVP, I could care less about that other stuff.
Huh?
None of that matters. He still won an MVP, and he even won a ring.
I mean, I'm talking about to Era's. Like, did he have to go up against a GOAT? Was he stack rank? Like, do you even know who was second on that MVP list?
He literally was he came in the league at the same time as Kareem.
Who is second? I'm saying who is second on this 1977-78 MVP list in Bill Walton's time?
Wait, Kareem was nice in 76, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, Kareem was nice his entire life.
Yeah. I'm about to say Kareem was nice in 76. 77. But still, But Kareem wasn't LeBron James. I'm sorry. So once again, Derrick Rose had to go up against LeBron.
Literally, who he lined up on the other side of.
And the MVP voting, he had to go against LeBron.
Hold on. Stop the count, bro. I don't want to hear none of this shit. Bro. George Gervin was second. That year. Third was David Thompson. Like, and I don't even know who was third when Rose won it.
David Thompson didn't coach.
Dude, it's Bill Walton, George Gervin. I have the percent. I have the percent.
Thompson and George Gervin were vying for the scoring title at the time.
Yeah, they were. He Ralph ain't lying. That is true.
Kareem was fourth. Kareem was fourth that year. I mean, I'm just saying all this to say that his MVP holds more weight.
That's wild, dog.
It does, man. I'm saying it.
Hey, Ralph can't get any more Chicago Bulls season ticket passes, man. Derrick Rose, man. You disrespect the GOAT, the baby GOAT, man.
If you're not going to put him in, how could you put this person in?
We're talking about Bill Walton.
Bro.
No, Bill Walton pre-injuries was cold, bro.
Yo, Tar, D-Rose going to slide into Ralph's DMs and be like, yeah, I heard you was talking crap about me on that. What's good, man? I thought it was cool.
About him. I'm not Stephen A.
I know.
One bad thing about Derrick Rose.
Hey. Oh no, hold on. And I know we're still having this conversation, and I might be elongating it just a tad bit, but this is in 2010. This is the MVP race. Derrick Rose. You want to know who's after that? Dwight Howard, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade. Like, that's bro, there is no comparison.
Yeah.
There's no comparison.
Yeah.
George Gervin's on the list.
Hey, but KD is on the list.
Dwight Howard, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Nowitzki. Do you hear what you're saying?
Yeah, man. Come on, bro.
Comparison.
Hey, look, D-Rose should be on the D-Rose one of the 75 greatest.
Bro, did we even have the third final or the third MVP in 77-78 even on our top 75, David Thompson?
No.
Dude, the top 10.
That's Mike's mentor. Like, whenever Mike talks about people that made him better, it was David Thompson that was the one that made him better.
You know why he made him better? Because he taught Mike not to do coke. So there we go. Derrick Rose should be on the list, man. I'm telling you, bro. Like, okay, let's go, man. Like Derrick Rose.
All right, it's done. It's done. That was overdrawn.
Up next, back again.
Oh man,
I remember what we said on Chris Webber.
What did we say? Oh, I said.
We said yes on Chris
now.
Webber.
I'm gonna have to say yes now.
I say yeah. We gotta say yes now. Yeah. Average like 27 a game. So.
No way, none.
Back again, James Harden.
No, I'm still saying no.
Yes.
I say yes.
James Harden, your top 75 players ever? James Harden. Yeah.
We got a cameo, so okay. Overruled.
What do you say?
I'm not mad at it. I just don't.
Right.
I just personally.
He had one of the greatest offensive peaks, so yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Up next, Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
No.
Always doubtful.
No.
Hey, someone check his injury status tonight, man. See what it is. Always doubtful.
Literally, always doubtful.
Steve Nash.
Who?
Steve Nash.
Oh.
Yeah, Ralphie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, Russell Westbrook.
No.
I said yes before, and I'm not gonna not say yes. Yes.
I'm gonna say
Brody's
yes.
in. Brody's in that thing.
Man.
Crazy MVP year. Took the Wizards to the playoffs.
Bradley Beal, though.
Bradley Beal?
Hold up. Hey, anyone have a coin? I need a Harvey Dent coin flip, man.
Because the reason, like, I look at Russell Westbrook, you playing with some of the players you played with, and you haven't even won. Like, I'm like, when we say rings are the measurement, he's a player that should have won a ring.
Yeah.
Like, he should have won a ring with all the greats he's played with. And the fact that everyone felt like he was the common denominator of why they didn't win a ring, it's like, I take that huge consideration. Despite the MVP season or whatever, because you can inflate rebounds. Like, you have 2 7-footers that box you out.
I
got
think he might have. And I mean, I don't know, dude. What was OKC's rank that year?
7th
in the West.
7th. They were like,
and he still won it.
But here's okay. So here's my thing, right? This is probably my final point, right? And you guys probably know this, right? I've always said this. I've told Tar and Ralph this many times. I've always had issue with the MVP because it never went to the most valuable player. It always went to the best player on the best team. If you're the best team, that is going to be the most valuable player. It makes no sense. So it went to the number 1 seed. It was like 31 out of the last 32 years, with the exception of one. This is before Jokic won it, by the way. With the exception of 1 year, guys, right? It was a year Russell Westbrook won. But why did they give it to him? For a historical season. But when Kobe had a historical season, it was averaging 35 points per game and was first team all defense, joining only Michael Jordan, which no one ever tells you this, as one of the only 2 players in NBA history to average over 35 and make first team all defense in the same season. They didn't give it to him. He outscored. I don't need to tell you why he should have been. He was a clear-cut MVP,
bro.
But they gave Russ it, and so I was like, that's hypocrisy for me.
Kevin Love broke Moses Malone's triple double record and did this shit.
So with that being said, I'm not saying that
on a trash team too.
Yeah,
and he was on a trash team, and he broke a double record.
But guys, with that being said, I'm not saying Russell Westbrook is Kobe. And I just made the case why Kobe should have won because of hypocrisy. But if I'm going to use that argument, right, Russell Westbrook was the most valuable person to his team. So at the end of the day, I'm going to say yes, just off the strength. Because if you take him off there, Steven Adams and Andre Roberson ain't getting it done. So there you go.
I say yes.
Yeah. Trey, what you say? Oladipo wasn't Oladipo quite yet.
He didn't let him be Oladipo, though.
It took him a couple of years.
Because the year he traded Oladipo became an all-star.
I thought that was 2 years after that. But
anyway. It was a year after.
Once he got to Indiana, he started hooping.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Russell never let you be great. He never did. He always tried to outscore you.
Trey, what'd you say?
I'm just going to say yes, though. I still don't believe in Roberson, Oladipo at all. His health, his availability. There we go. Oladipo's availability, Roberson's non-shooting behind, and Steven Adams non-shooting behind, and whoever else.
What we say about Vince Carter?
No. Not top 75.
At this rate, I don't think he is still. Yeah, that's one that I've been saying a good amount of yeses, and I don't think so.
I put him yes because of the pool, but no. Overall, no.
No.
All right. So honestly, I think we said no on Dame. Right?
Okay, Dame over Russell. If we were gonna say no to Dame.
Oh. No to Russell, yes to Dame, and then throw Paul George in there.
But this is my thing. We already put Paul George on there, so I'm literally out of names at this point. Unless y'all, I have 67 names. So unless y'all want to put there's T-Mac, Chris Bosh, Rasheed Wallace. I still got to mention Vince Carter.
Mm-hmm. Did you put Manu Ginobili on there?
Ginobili's already on the list.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you said we have 67, right?
Only 67 names. I have,
and Paul George is on there, right?
We already agreed on that one.
So if Paul George is on there, I think we should still put Dame on there because because Dame is better than Russ.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm taking Russ off completely and putting Dame on there.
But that will leave us at 67 again, though, right? If we take Russ off.
Leave us at 67, and we still got.
I don't give a shit. He's not a top 75 player.
We got to put eight more names on there.
Hey, Ralph, I'm saying we should just include Dame. I wasn't saying after 10 to take Russ.
I'm taking that nigga Russ off. He shouldn't even be on the list.
As a group, we got to come up with 8.
Yeah, we got to come with a group.
But I'm saying, if you got if we have a long list to go, if you have to take someone off, I'm taking Russ off.
Long list, bro, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't have much of a long list.
Because then at that point, is Rasheed Wallace better than Russell Westbrook?
No. All right, so 3-1.
Yeah, hey, it's hard thinking about it.
I don't know. Because he actually has a ring. But again, measurements, he has a ring, though. And I don't think rings are important, but he does have a ring, and he does have numbers that Russ has.
He's not.
But he has a ring.
Russ. No, we're not doing that.
Blasphemy. Vince Carter.
I mean, at this rate, yes.
No. At this rate, Vince Carter is better than the rest of the people that you're probably going to name, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Vince Carter's on it.
And then we said no on T-Mac, no on Bosh, right?
Bosh Spice? No.
Did we?
Man, I might have to throw T-Mac on there now.
What did we say on Dame?
Dame's yes.
Dame was yes.
We got said yes on Dame, right?
You put Yao Ming on it?
Yeah, I was in the pool, I think.
We all said everybody said no on Yao. So you can put it in if you want.
That's fine.
At this point, we got 6 names we got to think of, and I'm literally out of names at this point.
What? We are?
Yao Ming.
International star, Yao Ming. Throw him on there. He's one of the greatest
All-NBA.
international players ever. Short career, but he gave Shaq work. He used to give Shaq problems. He did. Shaq always had to play his best against Yao because remember his first matchup? He didn't take Yao seriously, and Yao was giving him work. He had like 3 blocks in the first half, and Shaq, one of the biggest knocks on Shaq is he didn't always take certain matchups seriously, right? And then he would have to motivate himself. He came out the second half and started putting that work in. I got to give Yao credit because he was averaging 25 and 10 and was in the MVP conversation in 07 before Kobe went ballistic. So, yeah, I'm going to say yes to Yao because I've always said that if I had a chance to start a team, I would take Yao over Dwight in his era because Yao played technically different.
Because if Yao's healthy, we're having a whole different conversation.
And Yao played in the West. He played in the West. He didn't play in the East against Verjao and I don't even know who was in the East. What's your boy Dallenberg? Dallenberg.
Yeah,
Dallenberg.
Brad Miller. I don't fucking know.
I do say Brian Miller. Yeah. All right, come on, guys. We got to think of 5 more names. 5 more names.
We have to fish.
Anyone from this era?
No, because Luka's too young. Yeah, all the good.
Giannis is there. Giannis and Kawhi are locks. Jokic, we said was up. Embiid is too injured, but Embiid has a talent.
Right. So I wouldn't put him in.
Anyone on a championship team that's won recently? Let's see. Miami was in the championship. Nobody in there.
Let's just throw Tom Brady on the list. Fuck it.
The only one that you could even argue from the Heat is Jimmy Butler, and I'd say no.
Wow. So this is why all these old geezers from the past, with all due respect, the dinosaurs made a list because they had to fill it. They were filler. It was like an album.
Card fillers.
It's like an album. You need filler, right? You make a greatest hits album. Like 4 of them are going to be filler. So,
yeah,
I'll be back. Hold on.
Like for me personally, if I had the list and I wasn't doing a vote, there would be people on this list that was said no to that would be on this list.
Like T-Mac.
I would
Davis would be on the list in my personal opinion. Trying to think who else did we say no to. I had Bill Walton on the list as well, and I probably would have put Derrick Rose on there.
Okay. Put Adrian
Dantley. I thought Derrick Rose. My bad. Go ahead.
Adrian Dantley.
Did I meet Adrian Dantley? No, I met Adrian Branch.
Dude, he's got 24.3, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, Hall of Fame, 2-time scoring champ, 2-time All-NBA, Rookie of the Year. No shit.
I like Adrian Dantley.
I like Adrian Dantley. So that's 3 left, right?
Dude, how did Adrian Dantley not make this damn list? Holy shit. Go look at his
That's what I said.
Dude, he averaged 30 for 4 straight seasons in Utah.
Yeah.
Probably because he played in Utah.
What?
Before Karl Malone.
That was a sleeper, bro. Wow. That was crazy, bro.
Blake Griffin?
Y'all agreed on Ben Wallace, right?
I said yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Blake Griffin?
No.
Or AD? Blake Griffin or AD?
I'm taking AD.
I'd take AD. You could throw AD back on at this point.
Sean Kemp?
No. Peak wasn't long enough.
All right, off the strength, because I have to say off the strength because we need what, 4 more?
2 more.
2 more? All right, off the strength, I got to go with T-Mac. Everyone likes a dude. That's one. I know it's not a compelling case.
He's not on?
Wait, T-Mac?
T-Mac's not on the list?
No, we didn't say T-Mac. I think it was down the line. It was 2 versus 2.
I need him on that list.
I'm saying what is T-Mac now? Because he gave everyone problems. He gave everyone work.
Yeah, everybody said no.
Yeah, bro.
Off the strength of people he gave.
I said yeah.
Oh.
Bro,
he had one of the highest PER seasons too in Orlando on a bad team, which is still crazy.
We gotta run T-Mac. We gotta run T-Mac and pick one more.
Brandon Roy?
My AirPods are about to die, so we do.
Bernard King.
One more.
Bernard King. I like that. Bernard King.
That's crazy that he didn't make this list before that, though. I mean, he didn't make that top 50 list.
I was gonna say him or Alex English.
Alex English. I was going to say him before Bernard King.
I like Bernard King over Alex English though.
All right.
I like Bernard King too.
Yeah, me too. All right.
So our list.
Woo!
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor, Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain, Clyde Drexler, Julius Erving, Patrick Ewing, Walt Frazier, George Gervin, Elvin Hayes, Magic, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Moses Malone, Pistol Pete, Kevin McHale, Earl Monroe, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaq, Robert Parrish, Scottie Pippen, Willis Reed, Oscar Robertson, David Robinson, Bill Russell, John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, Nate Thurman, Wes Unseld, Jerry West, James Worthy, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, Tim Duncan, Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett, Allen Iverson, LeBron James, Jason Kidd, Dirk Nowitzki, Chris Paul, Paul Pierce, Dwayne Wade, Gary Payton, Ray Allen, Kawhi Leonard, Bob McAdoo, Dominique Wilkins, Dennis Rodman, Klay Thompson, Manu Ginobili, Dwight Howard, Tony Parker, Bob Cousy, John Havlicek, Bob Pettit, Pau Gasol, Jokic, fuck it, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Webber, James Harden, Steve Nash, Russell Westbrook, Vince Carter, Dame Lillard, Yao Ming, Adrian Dantley, Ben Wallace, Anthony Davis, Tracy McGrady, and LaMelo Ball. No, I'm playing. Bernard King.
Hey, you know what? Y'all gonna hate me for this, but I have one objection on the list that we can replace. We got to replace the low IQ point guard again. I'm sorry, we keep doing it, man.
Thank you.
We all have. It don't feel right, man. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel right. The low IQ, the Energizer Bunny, the Tasmanian Devil himself, Russell Westbrook, got to leave, man, and get replaced with Kevin Johnson of the Phoenix Suns. That dude was cold. No, like literally, Kevin Johnson put up Magic Johnson numbers. Like we've talked about this, Rob. Kevin Johnson.
If
I'm with what
wins any ship,
Alex English.
Bro, Kevin Johnson's like one of the most underrated players in NBA history. He just got injured.
I'm with what Trey said. Alex English over us for me.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
But y'all don't want to like at least
Russ
like
is not a top 75 player.
No, I don't want Kevin Johnson in there.
Kevin Johnson?
I wouldn't put Kevin Johnson
on.
Kevin Johnson was nice. But
yeah, he was hella nice.
Who?
He was hella nice. He made the finals too. He was hella nice.
Oh, he owns Willow's Chicken and Waffles too.
If Kevin Johnson gets on this list for Russell Westbrook, I will rampage.
I mean,
he averaged what?
He averaged 18 and 9 for his career.
Read off some of his prime years. Come on, man. Read off some of his prime years. Some of his prime numbers, bro. Peep this, guys. Peep this.
Oh, man. 20 and 12, 23 and 11, 22 and 10, 20 and 11, 20 and 10.
I'm assuming he's playing with Marley, right?
Marley and Barkley.
Well, Barkley left at a certain point.
Yeah, and he was still cold. He just got hurt.
He still was averaging. He pretty much averaged at least 9 assists, all for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Probably
8.
high on the all-time list.
Right. In the days of John Stockton and Gary Payton, a.k.a. The Glove, and Isaiah Thomas. You know what I'm saying?
All reasons why Russell Westbrook just stays on my list.
What? Gary Payton? John
No, I'm just
Stockton?
No. Not that reason. I just would not take Russell Westbrook off my list. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of that. That was a good argument.
All right.
Yo, where Tyler at?
He did.
But hey, this was fun, guys.
I like Alex English, but yeah, I was gonna say Alex English over Russ. But
I gotta find out. Oh wait, you know what I don't like is because Charles Barkley and Reggie Miller, they don't want to have they won't allow 2K to have their player license, so we can't play with their teams on 2K. So man,
true.
I've been trying to play with Reggie Miller since I was in high school.
I swear, that'd be so great.
Yeah. And yo, Trey, when they gonna put the 2009-2010 Lakers on there? Like, what the hell?
The 09?
That'd be crazy.
The Kobe Lakers with Gasol and Olin and all them.
I want like a super powered Kobe. from like 06 or something.
Yeah, I have a conspiracy.
I ain't playing with Chucky Atkins. What the hell? Hey. I'm not playing with no goddamn Chucky Atkins or Shammond Williams. I don't play with them niggas, bro.
I'll take 70 shots with Kobe.
I ain't trying to play with Chris Mim. What the hell?
Go ahead, Ralph. You're giving the ball to Kobe, and Kobe's playing the whole game.
Bro, his Gatorade logo would be empty, bro. His Gatorade logo would be gone.
Bro, that Gatorade logo would have a snake in it, and it would just say "Mama Mentality," and he'd still be able to shoot the last shot of the game.
I have a conspiracy though, guys. I have a conspiracy though, right? And just a conspiracy because you're a Shaq fan doesn't mean that you hate Kobe. But have you guys ever? I know I can't be the only one because I've talked to fellow Laker fans and when I was a Laker fan back then and Kobe fans, and you know how if you look at all the 2Ks, right? On like the all-time NBA player or the all-time team list and stuff, Kobe's as high as Kobe goes is in 98. And I'm like, huh? Yet LeBron and MJ go 99 and all these other people go 99. Shaq goes 99. But Kobe was never a 99, except I think in like a 2012, I don't know what it was, right on the all-time list. I found that weird. And then I found it odd that the 09 and 010 Lakers weren't on there. 06 Kobe's never on there. I'm like, Kobe's just never gets his just due on 2K. So I found something on Twitter, and whatever his name is, the dude who the Indian dude who who runs 2K, whatever his name is. I forgot.
Ronnie 2K.
Yeah, Ronnie 2K. And they asked him who his favorite player was, and he said Shaq. And I was like, oh, okay. And I kind of put 2 and 2 together. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, bro. Like, how is I have 2K21. Look at all the two. Like, Kobe's not a 99 on any of the all-time teams, bro. It's crazy. There's no 06 Kobe, and there's no whatchamacallit. Yeah. But that's all I was gonna say.
Okay, so this is a real quick question. This is in no particular kind of order, right? With the 1 to it's just okay.
I was about to say Magic Johnson 13.
Yeah, nah. This is in no particular order because I wouldn't have. At a certain point, I just was going down the list of who was on there or who's not on there. But all right, y'all. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Guys.
Thank you all for watching. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Facebook, the He Say She Say channel, or He Say She Say all one word. Make sure you follow the Instagram page, J.ü.k. Sports Show. Make sure you follow me on TikTok, Twitch, Instagram as well, at KYAGALPH. And thank you all for watching, and we out of here.
Peace.